You know what I'm saying? We give praise, glory, and honor to the Most High Yahweh, way Yahushua HaMashiach, our Master, King, and Savior. John chapter 5, verse 39. They say, boy, they got wild this. I got ID cards and business cards and they say movie passes. Money and all on your head, boy. I forgot about that. He said that boy head got like a wallet. He say, search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and there they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. Let's look at that Songs of Solomon. About verse 7, I suppose. Because verse 7 comes to my mind. Songs of Solomon, chapter 1, and verse 7. Songs of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 7. And it says, tell me, O thou, whom my soul love, where thou feed, where thou make thy flock to rest at noon. For why should I be as one that turn aside by the flocks of thy companions? If thou know not, O thou fairest among women, go thy way forth by the footsteps of the flock, and feed thy kids besides the shepherd's tents. I compare thee, O my love, to a company of horses and Pharaoh's chariots. Thy cheeks are comely with rows of jewels, thy neck with chains of gold. Now what y'all think about that? What y'all think about that? Well, the first thing that we're going to look at is this. He said, tell me, O thou whom my soul love, where thou feed, to make thy flock to rest at noon. For why should I be as one that turn aside by the flocks of thy companions? He said to make thy flock rest at noon. What you think this could mean by making his flock rest at noon? Y'all got any idea what this? Huh? Resting before the, to a certain extent. Anybody else? What y'all think that could mean by that call the flocks to rest at noon? Because he asking where they eat at, when they could take their rest. Why would that be important? Because this is he who my soul loves. He said you make it to lie down at noon. Well, let's go over here to Matthew 27 real fast. Hello? Hello? What's going on, bro? 27 and 45. Matthew 27 and 45. It also says to make the lie down at noon. He say, tell me whom my soul loves, where you graze your flock, or where you feed your flock, where you make them rest at noon. Why should I be as one veiled beside the flock of your companions? Hold on. Make sure I read it in this. Here too. Hold on one second. He said, why should I be as one that turn aside by the flocks of thy companions? So we look at 27 and 45, right? He say, now from the 6th hour there was darkness over all the land until the 9th hour. And about the 9th hour, Yahushua cried with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. That is to say, my Elohim, why hast thou forsaken me? Now when we know, what time is that 6th hour, gentlemen? When it equates, that's noon time, right? So you sit back and you look at it. He made a what it ended up happening coming on around at noon time. What he brought out there at that time? He made it to be darkness, right? Now we're gonna sit back and we're gonna look at that in just a moment. Just a moment. Give me 1 second. Now, when it sit back and it mentions here in verse 7, you come back over here to verse 7 of First Solomon, Song of Solomon, chapter 1. And when it says, tell me whom thy soul love, Now hold this here. I'm just going to come back. We're going to come back to it. Let's look at 1 Peter chapter 1 and about verse 9, if I'm not mistaken. So he's asking the question. There's a question being asked to them whom my soul loves. Where do you feed your flock at? Where do you make them rest at? Let's make it First Peter chapter 1 about verse 8. It says, whom having not seen ye love, and whom though now you see him not, yet believing you rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls, of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently, who prophesied of the grace that should come unto you, searching what manner of time the Ruach of a Mashiach which is in them did signify, when it testified beforehand the sufferings of a Mashiach and the glory that should follow. Don't it sound like they inquiring right here if they saying, tell me who my soul loves, where you feed and where you make your flock to rest at noon? He said, why should I be as one that turned aside by the flocks of thy companions? So if he made his flock to rest at noon, come back over here to about Hebrews chapter 4 and about verse 9 real fast. No. Make it Hebrews 3 first, and then we'll read Hebrews chapter 4. Matter of fact, we ain't even got to read that one now. We can start at about verse 7 of Hebrews chapter 4. The fourth is what he's quoting. Hebrews 4 and 7. And it states, again, he limited a certain day, saying in David, today after so long time, as it is said today, if you will hear his voice, harden not your hearts. Now I'm going to ask you gentlemen something. Hello? Yo. What's happening with your little bro? For sure, man. Boy, I'm going to holler at y'all will, man. I'm going to holler at you tomorrow, man. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? Y'all will. I ain't saying like you couldn't hear me, but you hear me? Y'all will. We're going to be at University Park, Brand Library 2, Public Meeting Room 8 tomorrow. But y'all will, you come around there tomorrow, little Stanley, I'm going to holler at you. You hear me? Ain't nothing bad, though. But I got to holler at you, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what song he quoting right here? When he say, today if you will hear his voice. Well, this is Telahim, Psalm 95. And he said, we are the sheep of his pasture if we will hear his voice. Because you notice that the woman in this instance is asking him, where is he whom my soul loves, that calls his flock to rest at noon? Now we know obviously Mashiach died at what we would say would be 3 p.m. or the 9th hour. But we seeing at this time when he up there on the tree, because you understand what happens right at noontime, what happened? He made darkness come upon the whole earth. You know when darkness come around, what do people do? Hold on. Hold this Hebrews chapter 4 and look at 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. Just for one simple thing now. I'm just trying to prove the point what I'm talking about. Verse 5 and 1 Thessalonians 5 and 6. What you usually do at nighttime, y'all? You go to sleep. You go to sleep. Listen to him now. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night. And they that be drunken in the night. Come on back to Hebrews chapter 4. So you seen right then, if he bringing this cloud on, it's basically symbolizing it. And I got something else to deal with this cloud. Something else I was looking at. But we looking at this other stuff, but I seen this meme about 7 times in the last 3 weeks with either Soldier Slim or another rapper with a mouthful of gold. And that verse 10 of Songs of Solomon 1 and 10. I done seen ISUPK dudes preach that in the street. See why you wonder why we got goals in our mouth. When you actually do the history on it, that the first people who actually had goals in their mouth like that were actually Caucasians. They were Europeans. And it's kind of where the derivative of the word thug come from. You know what I'm saying? Did you ever know that? See, me and Fat Boy looked into that one time. Did a little research on it. You know what I'm saying? And found that out. That the first people who were really known for having goals in their mouth were Caucasians. Just like if a lot of y'all know the word assassin has a basis in the word hasis. Assassin like come from Arabs. You know what I'm saying? They the actual originator of that word. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of stuff people don't be knowing where this stuff come from. So they don't sit back and try to say that, oh, man, you know ain't no fool well, ain't no Yahoo Dean walking around with no mouth full of golds in their mouth. Y'all know everybody who got the mouth full of permanent gold breath beef stink. Y'all, you ever know somebody had permanent gold in their mouth? They breath was stink, wasn't it? Well, almost every nigga I know had permanent gold in their mouth. Boy, that nigga mouth was horrible.
Oh, ain't washing.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, shoot, boy, you can't get the, you gotta do something. I didn't know that nigga mouth was stink. But we was always told, get your plate, boy, take that stuff out your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Cause when you been done ate, man, that stuff, that food get caught up in that metal. Cause you know, gold ain't nothing but an alloy and some metal. You know what I'm saying? I would never get no permanent gold in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? You need to get you a plate, boy, snatch that out, man. You know what I'm saying? I done seen boys look like they got copper bullets in their mouth. You know what I'm talking about? At least if you gonna get some gold, go get some good ones. The dudes around here getting golds in their homeboy back room talking about he a gold doctor. Well, you better go around there. I don't remember the name of the dude across town that used to do the golds for everybody. You better go see Dr. Such and Such. You know what I'm saying? You better go down south to Miami and let somebody know what they doing. You going to the flea market and get some golds. You know what I'm saying? Wonder why you got gingivitis and all this type of stuff in your mouth. How you go to Gold Fair to get golds, man? You know what I'm saying? Dude, I got 24 karat gold. Nigga, stop lying. You know what I'm saying? I remember back in the day, they used to put silvers in their mouth. You know what I'm saying? They go to the dentist, though. The dentist would put the silvers in their mouth. You know what I'm saying? That was a Duval kind of thing, boy. You looked up, seen somebody. I'm talking about young kid, too. Mouth full of silver. That's what they used to do back in the day, though. You know what I'm saying? My homeboy Tony that's dead, he had one big fat gold right in front of his mouth.
Yeah, that's what they do. And I'm more permanent.
Yeah, but see, I ain't talking about nobody get the one big fat gold. I'm talking about dude get permanent gold. They got like a rack.
Yeah, I know you're talking about that thing back in the day, though.
Oh, yeah, I know it.
That one. And then that's when they started doing all of them.
Yeah, that's what Tony did. Boy. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate, man, my homeboy scarred, though, man. You know what I'm talking about? He ain't even get no chance to save himself. Tony had one big, that's what we used to call him in the hood, man. Big gold Tony. That one big old gold in the front. You know what I'm saying? I remember Tafiq when he got them golds, boy, he couldn't stop smiling. Boy, when the schoolboy got them golds, boy, he couldn't tell him nothing. Boy, he couldn't stop smiling. Them things was turning color about 3 years later. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want to go from having gold teeth to bronze. Them things done went bronze, boy. That wasn't gold in your mouth. Hebrew 4 and 7. I'm just telling y'all this here, man. Don't y'all go get no gold teeth in your mouth, man. You women know you can't get you none no way. You know what I'm saying? They used to do like this here. If their teeth fell out or went bad, they'd be like, well, let me get a gold one. You know what I'm saying? I let you live like this here, man. I'm going to tell y'all this here since, like I said, I ain't going to go no detail. But I'm going to do this for our dear sister Tamara. If any of y'all got mercury fillings in your mouth, you know what I'm saying? I want y'all to do me a favor. After the Shabbat over with, man, y'all research that stuff, man. See what's really behind it. And if all possible, get that stuff taken out your mouth. You know what I'm saying? If you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for Tamara. I asked y'all to do that. Y'all hear me on that, man? I'm dead serious about that. You know what I'm saying? Well, if you got mercury fillings in your mouth, man, go check that out, man. Do your research on the information, man. I know T and Brittany can help y'all out because they got some information pertaining to that stuff, man. You get with them, man. They send it to you, man. But so you can see it for yourself. And then once you see it for yourself, man, get that stuff out your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know, boy, if y'all, oh, boy. Oh, no. Oh boy, we just going, I don't know who that is, boy. You gotta watch your mouth now. Put your phone on mute or something if you gonna cuss. I don't want to hear you cuss. Cuss on your own time. Y'all know if y'all open up a thermostat and drink the mercury that come out that thermostat, that'll kill you. You know what I'm saying? So y'all gotta sit back and think about that, man. Because T told me something today, which I didn't even know. And Lil Muffin said they told her the same thing. She said they kind of purposely put fillers in your mouth and tell you got cavities when you don't have cavities. You know what I'm saying? Because T, like, she's 16, 17 years old. These people talking about, let's put 8 fillers in your mouth. And I'm like, how you that young and your mouth that ragged? You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way in the world your mouth get that ragged that soon. Lil Muff, how many you say they say about 14? They told Lil Muff she need 14 fillers at 17 years old. You know what I'm saying? Boy, you ain't ate enough sweets for your teeth to get that bad that fast. But if you got 14 cavities in your mouth at 17, that means you ain't brushed your teeth in years. You know what I'm talking about? 14 cavities at 17? 8 cavities at 16, 17 years old? That's ridiculous. But T would like they do that on purpose because they get money from them feelings, so they want you to get them. You know what I'm saying? They know the health risk behind you putting them in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But they don't care. So I'm mentioning this again. You should do it for yourself. But if not, do it for Tama, because Tama got them people upset because she was doing it, man. When you go to the doctor, man, and them people want you to do something, to take something, don't feel bad about asking what's in that. You know what I'm saying? What will this do to my body? Or at least go research what it will do to your body before you put it into your body, so you can at least make an informed decision. You know what I'm saying? We got to get past the point of, we got to know that these doctors and none of these people don't care about nobody. They care about making money. Don't mean every doctor like that, because some doctors prescribe this stuff because that's just the status quo of what they've been told to do, and they don't even really know the effects of what's in it and what they prescribing or nothing. So don't hold that against the doctor, because every doctor don't know. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. They just following protocol or what's said to be done. You know what I'm saying? But that's your body and it's your life. You know what I'm saying? Don't feel ashamed or feel like you got to be bullied or scared to ask questions about what these people want you to put in your body.
Your body.
You know what I'm saying? Don't let them do that. Don't let them intimidate you. Oh, see, I'm the doctor here. What that mean? I got the medical degree. And you could be stupid too. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them people intimidate you like that, man. Yeah, they got a medical degree. You just don't know how to practice medicine. That don't mean you can't research it, though. That's all his medical degree telling me is he can practice medicine. And if you practicing medicine, I ain't even sure about that. That means you ain't mastered it. You know what I'm talking about? They come and tell you, I practice medicine. You practice it. I thought that's what you do. You know what I'm talking about? I practice the law. So that means you ain't skilled at it then. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you ain't finna practice on me. You know what I'm talking about? Practice on your mammy. About the vaccines, oh, we don't believe in vaccines, Chantel.
Hey.
You know, to each their own. I don't believe in them. You know what I'm saying? It's all type of stuff they put in them vaccines. I don't believe in flu shots neither. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down. I ain't never had a flu shot. I've only had the flu once in my life. It was a doozy. When I had it, I smoked weed to get it out. I can't do that now, so now it's just gonna be Theraflu and chicken noodle soup. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in vaccines, man. Them people put a lot of stuff in that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all straight up and down. Just like I told y'all about the Earth thing when it came to NASA, we don't believe. You cannot trust nothing that comes from the United States of America. You know, it's vaccines and medicines and food over here, man, that are legal over here, that's illegal in the other sides of the world. You have to look into that, Chantel, about them going to school, because I believe there are ways you can get around that. It's all type of foods, man, that they don't sell in Europe and in Asia, that they sell over here. It's all type of medicines that are illegal in other countries that are legal here. You know, I was talking to T about this here, man, like I told y'all, like, I wouldn't use cannabis oil just because I don't know what that cannabis would do. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna sit here, just like she was saying, well, you know, you got medications that got opiates in it. I would not use an opiate-based medication at all, me personally. You know what I'm saying? Unless I had no choice whatsoever. Because I done read too many stories about people who end up getting addicted to it. And they weren't necessarily abusing the medication. You know what I'm saying? Opiates are highly addictive. You know what I'm saying? Opium is a serious, because that's heroin. That's a serious drug. I've seen people strung out on Oxycontin. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's the worst thing to see. That's synthetic heroin. You know what I'm saying? I told T-Boy, white dude came up, I was going to catch a serve. I ain't selling no Oxycontin. I was catching pop for some hard. Man, that white dude jumped up on me. He said, man, they cut off my Oxycontin prescription, man. I don't know what to do. Like, the despair in his face, though. You know what I'm saying? How I'm saying it sounds funny. But I see his face, though. There was, like, despair. Like, he literally did not know what he was going to do. You know what I'm saying? I said, oh, boy. Boy, I'm like, boy, I don't want nothing like that. How you acting like that? Yeah, I know, but see, it's a lot of stuff because usually those opiates being painkillers because opium is a depressant and it's kind of a number. So they put it in these painkillers. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be careful with that stuff when you taking them painkillers.
I can't do nothing for me. I had some oxycodone when I had my wisdom teeth removed. I didn't feel no different.
All right, because you probably didn't take enough.
I mean,
Hello? Oxycodone is serious though.
yeah, I know. I mean, for some people.
Hello? Yeah, they just tell them to crank it up a notch. You know?
I took what they prescribed. I mean, like, it stopped my gums hurt. Like, now I look back on it, I could tell that my gums was hurting or whatever. But
Yeah.
I was just like, keep pain.
You know what I'm saying? Boy, they talking about oxy, I'm straight. I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? Give me something else. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew a lady that was on that methadone real bad. Real bad. You know what I'm saying? Because all that stuff is just a synthetic version of an illegal narcotic. A legal synthetic version of an illegal narcotic. You know what I'm saying? So it's illegal for us to go out here and sell some heroin, but they can sell it to you. You know what I'm saying? Because methadone, oxycodone, oxycontin, pretty much Lortabs, you know what I'm talking about? Pretty much Xanax, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff, man, all that stuff is legal heroin. But they'll give me 30 years for selling some heroin. And you get stock shares for selling yours. You know what I'm saying? So you have to look at the injustice and the inequality in the place, and you got to be careful, man. And if you do get prescribed some of these drugs, man, be wise in how you use them. Because I'm telling you, man, it's no different. It put it to you like I done seen this here. I done seen people who smoke crack and didn't get hooked. I done seen people who smoked crack one time and were gone. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit back and think, well, they had to abuse it to get hooked. You don't have to. Everybody's biochemistry is different. You know what I'm saying? You introduce certain chemicals and substances to your biochemistry and your body will react different to it than the next person's body do. You know what I'm saying? Don't judge addiction based on what you see other people do. Don't assume that somebody had to do something overboard to get addicted. Most people who do something overboard already had a compulsive personality to begin with. I remember my mama used to say she didn't really want me to smoke weed because she thought I would be like how my granddaddy was with that liquor. But I'm like, you know, liquor and marijuana is a little different. You know what I'm saying? But I knew dudes, boy, my homeboy used to spend his whole paycheck at Burger King on a quarter pound of weed to smoke. You know what I'm talking about? The man went to rehab for marijuana. I'm serious.
You here for weed?
He said you ain't here for weed? He said, boy, I suck penis for coke. You ever suck penis for coke? I seen him too.
He said, no, I can't say I have.
You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, this man.
You know what I'm saying? But I seen that. You know, I done seen dudes that like, boy, if they ain't had no money to smoke no weed, boy, these boys do some crazy stuff. Boy, my homeboy pretty much did 15 years in prison to get some money to buy some weed, man. That's real. Man went to go rob Marty's and did some more other stupid stuff, boy, to get some money up to go buy some weed, man. That wasn't his main motivation. It was part of it, though. You know what I'm saying? Boy, man lost 15 years of his life by some weed, man. But if I ain't had no money for no weed, I just wasn't smoking. You know what I'm saying?
Never had money for no weed. And I always was smoking.
Hey, man. Shoot, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it was just time, boy, everybody doing, boy, but it ain't that serious, boy. Boy, I'm talking about, boy, I know dudes walk around looking for sessions like, that's junkie behavior right there. You know what I'm saying? You fiending for marijuana, you fiending for alcohol. If you around here feel like you can't function without a particular outside substance in your body, you have a problem. You know what I'm saying? You have a problem. And it can happen just like that. Because a lot of y'all thinking, man, nobody can't get on weed that bad. I've seen it. Boy, my homeboy walked up every day. He dead now. Same Bob Marley t-shirt, same cargo shorts, talking about, I got 5. Who got 5? Straight up. No exaggeration. Ain't being funny. If he was alive and sitting here right now, he'll tell you the same. Like, yeah, boy, I did it. Same Bob Marley t-shirt every day. I got 5, bro. Who got 5? I'm trying to go half. Because back then, shoot, boy, it was so bad, boy. You know you were doing back up, boy. We used to go half on the neck. Straight up. Boy, I remember one time, boy, Lane know what I'm talking about, boy. We were doing so bad, boy. We had the weed, ain't had no blunts. We smoked it in the KFC paper bag. That's real.
You done did something like that before. This one of them polo paper.
Worst thing, boy, I remember one time, boy, the nigga was smoking in that Bible paper. They said, boy, you smoking the word, boy, you going to hell. Nigga says the paper in the front ain't no words on it. I said, boy, this boy crazy. You know what I'm talking about? He says the paper in the front, bro, ain't no words on it. Well, you know you got a problem, you smoking in Bible paper. He ruled for himself. Any of y'all ever did that before? I done it. They ain't had no words on it. We sure snatched that old front cover paper out in the front and twisted it. Straight up. Shoot, I wasn't dumb. I know what I was doing. We finna roll him. I ain't believing it no way. You know what I'm talking about? Like they said, you talking about that Jesus juice. I ain't believing none of that junk. Boy, I ain't never believed in Christianity. You hear me? I ain't never believed in that. Ever. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who know me know that, boy. I ain't never believed in that. I wasn't around here talking about sweet baby Jesus this, Jesus. Man, look here, nigga. Get out my face with that white man. I don't believe in that. They used to look at me crazy in prison. They say he gonna get struck by lightning. They went to talk about that rapture. I say, nigga, I don't believe in none of that junk, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? I went to breaking it down. They looked at me crazy. I'm for real though. When it comes to that, I ain't never believed in Christianity. Never. Lank know that. You can have Fat Boy too. He'll tell you. Well, I ain't never believed in that. I wasn't buying that. Well, me and Fat Boy done had some heated discussions about that. You know what I'm saying? Well, I ain't believing that.
Yeah, I know what heated, boy.
What?
I know, I can tell just how he was. What you said? Well, you going to hell, boy.
We be going in now. We be in the trap arguing about this stuff. He ruled for himself now. He said again, he limited a certain day, saying in David, today after so long time, as it is said, today if you would hear his voice, harden not your heart. For if Yahusha had given them rest, then he would not have afterwards spoke of another day. There remained therefore a rest to the people of Elohim. For he that entered into his rest, he also has ceased from his own works, as Elohim did from here. Come over here to John chapter 10, about verse 1 real fast. He said he's called them to rest. He called his flock to rest at noon. So we sitting back looking at, boy, this man called to rest. We gonna get, I got a whole bunch of stuff in my head today. I promise I do. Y'all will, we get all of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all this stuff serious though, man. Y'all watch your health. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We got Corey around here, you know he's skillful in a lot of these herbs, a lot of that type of stuff, man. Don't be scared to holler at him, man. He's more proficient in that stuff than I am. He know about that stuff more than I do. And we got to start attaining more books and type of stuff that pertains to that type of stuff so we can have a lot of that stuff readily accessible. You know what I'm saying? But you got to take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Got to take care of yourself. Hebrews 10:1. He say, truly, truly, I say unto you, he that enter not by the door into the sheepfold, but climb up some other way, the same as a thief and a robber. But he that enter in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. Keep that in mind, because we just read something about the shepherd's tents, right? Now drop down to verse 7. He say, then said Yahusha unto them again, truly, truly, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out, and find pasture. The thief come not but for to steal, and to kill, and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lay his life down for the sheep. When he was up there on that tree at noontime, wasn't he laying his life down? Because remember, y'all know what it said. You know what it said about Issachar, right? In the 49th chapter of Bereshit of Genesis, you know what it said about Issachar, right? He was a strong ass. And he saw that what? Rest was good. And he said he saw that rest was good. So he bowed down his shoulder to bear. So when you see he caused this flock to rest at noon, he caused us to be able to have rest. Remember he said, come unto me all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. I'll give you shalom. This is what he's telling you. So he basically saying he gave his flock peace at noon. You got to understand something. When this man laying his life down, this is talking about the sacrifice of a Mashiach, about him giving you the rest that you seek after at noon. Now come on back to Songs of Solomon, chapter 1, about verse 7. Y'all just bear with me. It's the point we're trying to get to. The main reason we came right here, so yeah. Songs of Solomon, back to Songs of Solomon. What we dealing with is, man, I just don't want y'all to walk around here thinking the book talking about you had gold teeth in your mouth. I seen that one time too many this week. I had been seeing it and I've been heard it, but I seen it one time too many this week. When we read verse 7, oh, you sick? Oh, you got the virus. Cold virus? Yep, snot virus. Say, tell me, thou whom thy soul love, where thy feed. You see what he said? Now where would him that his soul love, where does he feed? Where does he feed? He feed in Jerusalem, didn't he feed his flock in Jerusalem? Called him to rest at noon too. He said, where thou make thy flock to rest at noon. For why should I be as one that turned aside by the flock of thy companions? You know what that means, to turn aside when he talking about? Or basically to be covered. Say, why should I be as one of this, because I got two translations next to me. They say, for why should I be as one who is veiled beside the flock of your companions? So you know what they mean in being veiled, being covered. He said, why should I be covered by the flock of your companions? Let me read verse 8 since we already studied. He said, if thou know not, O thou fairest among women, go thy way forth by the footsteps of the flock and feed thy kids beside the shepherd's tent. Do any of y'all know what that word would translate for tent? We're going to look and see what that word translates for tent right here real fast. But that's what we're looking at, just looking at these translations. We got the stinking thing don't want to cooperate with me there. Now if it say the shepherd's tent, ain't that the same thing talking about entering in for the sheepfold? You know what I'm saying? You're going to feed by the shepherd's tent. That means you're going to feed by the shepherd's dwelling place. Dwelling place or tabernacle when it comes to tent. Now we know in John chapter 2, Mashiach stated clearly that he was that tabernacle. He was that house. We know that Hebrews 8 lets us know that this is the tabernacle, the true tabernacle which Yahuwah hath pitched and not man. And we sitting back looking at that, the young kids feed besides that. See, come over here to 1 Peter chapter 5 and about verse 1. You know, it's got something, you know, some of y'all already know about this. I ain't gonna address the whole matter till it's time. You know what I'm saying? I kind of talked about it yesterday, but you know, we got a couple of people, they got their testicles crossed on the kid. You know what I'm saying? Got them crossed.
On the kid, huh?
On the kid, man. They got their testicles crossed on the kid, man. Make some real lie accusations about me. You know what I'm talking about? Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Cause I talked to some of y'all about it. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
On the kid. Look at you. Who you at?
Oh, that's just how we say, but like this here. But I promise y'all this here. Some of y'all might be with me. Some of y'all might not. But boy, it's somebody got to see me though. Matter of fact, since I mentioned it, I'm going to read this 1 Peter 5, and then we're going to get Proverbs 27:1. Because one thing I done told some of y'all before, you got to protect your reputation. One thing you don't never want to be called in question is your integrity. You know what I'm talking about? See, once your integrity get called into question, that's everything you got as a man.
Well, you know what Scarface said? You know
what I'm saying? Only for real though. You got your word and you got your genitalia. You know what I'm saying? Which basically you got your word and you got your manhood. Your integrity is tied with your manhood. Because you're not a man if you don't have no integrity. You know what I'm saying? See, that's what made a Mashiach a Mashiach. That's what made Yah Yah, because they integrity. Because what they say they are about, they are about. You know what I'm saying? I've been a lot of things in my life, boy. Fake and phony ain't never been one of them. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't got no time for flogging. Ain't got no time for pump faking. Got time for none of that. You know, we were raised like that, boy. Ain't no future in front. And you ain't got a lot of kicking. You know what I'm talking about? What's the point? What's the point? Boy, I got a big homeboy from my neighborhood to go upside my head for that type of stuff. They don't care nothing about you call yourself preaching the word. You around here flogging. Boy, I'll punch you in your face right now. And all you're going to have to do is take that. 1 Peter 5:1 though. He say, the elders which are among you I exhort, who am also an elder and a witness of the sufferings of Mashiach, and also a partaker of the esteem that shall be revealed. Feed the flock of Elohim which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. Neither as being masters over Elohim's heritage, but being ensamples to the flock. And when the chief shepherd shall appear, you shall receive a crown of glory that fade not away. Because we know from Psalms 119 about 176 say we were sheep as gone astray, but we done returned. You know what I'm talking about? Which is why Peter right here in this 1 Peter chapter 1 about verse 20 say you were sheep gone astray, but now you done return to the shepherd and bishop of your soul. Because what the shepherd gonna do, you're gonna feed by his tents. You're gonna feed by his house. You're gonna feed by his sheepfold. You're gonna feed by his pasture. That's why you got to come on around here too. That's why he say he calls his flock to rest at noon. After he calls them to rest at noon, then he turned around and fed them. And what did he turn around and feed them? He fed them that good word. Come on around here to Proverbs 27. I want y'all to hear this here, man. Because one thing for certain, boy. Then you can get your Luke chapter 6 and 23. Because I don't even know why a nigga did what he did. But I promise to you, though, y'all permit, he got to see me, though. I got to look him right in the white son's eyes. And you know what I'm going to do when I look him in the white son's eyes? Actually, it's Proverbs 22 and 1 that I want. Y'all know what I'm going to do when I look him in the white son's eyes? I'm going to look him square in his eyes and tell him into his face he's a bold-faced liar. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up down. And it ain't for no other reason because I'm from Duval County. We don't play that type of stuff. I don't know where some of y'all from. We don't play that where I'm from. You know what I'm talking about? I mean that. I mean that. Proverbs 22 and 1 though. Listen what he tell you. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold. You know what I'm talking about? See, I'd rather be broke and my name be clean than to be rich and my name be dirty. Now we can look at that and see what that's even better, even deeper than what that's talking about. Because this man said a good name is to be chosen in riches and love and favor rather than silver and gold. Well, gentlemen, what's love and favor? Matter of fact, since I said love and favor better than silver and gold, get you the 8th chapter of Proverbs, about verse 11. I'm going to tell you something right here, man. Matter of fact, make it 8. Verse 8. Matter of fact, make it about verse 7. Make it 6. You know what I'm saying? I remember this verse 11. I heard it in the Killer Priest record when I was a jit. You know what I'm saying? And it always stuck with me, even all them years later. That even when I ain't know nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Because I'm praying I ain't being heard, but I'm like this here. I'm like, boy, if you let me get anything, just let me get wisdom and understanding. And nah, that's all I wanted. You know what I'm saying? I think y'all, he let me get it. That's all I ever asked for. I say, if you're real, that's all I want. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nothing else. Because that's stuck in my mind what this verse 11 say. He say, for I will speak of excellent things, and the opening of my lips shall be right things. For my mouth shall speak truth, and wickedness is an abomination to my lips. I ain't finna sit around here and tell no lies. He say, all the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There's nothing froward or perverse in them. That mean ain't nothing unclean in them. Ain't nothing crooked in them. Ain't nothing rebellious in them. I ain't finna tell nobody to go against y'all's word. I'm going to tell you to keep it. I'm going to tell you to do what the book say. You don't want to do what the book say, that's on you. He say, they are plain to them that understand and right to them that find knowledge. Receive my instruction. You heard me told you? Receive my instruction, and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all things that may be desired are not to be compared to it. Well, let's look at 1 Corinthians chapter 1 about verse 30. Let's see what wisdom is then. I had Brother Barry had text me, man, talking about why is wisdom referred to as a woman. Well, we know in Hebrew the word for wisdom is a feminine noun. We turn around and we look at a Mashiach, and we know what it was no? Yeah, it's on. Oh. When we turn around and look at a Mashiach, we know that he was male and female at the same time. Because we know Adam was male and female at the same time because his wife came from him, just like a Mashiach's wife came from him. So either way it go, Genesis 5 and 1. He said in the beginning of creation when he made Adam, made he him, male and female made he him, and he called their name Adam. You know what I'm saying? Same concept, same thing. 1 Corinthians 1 and 30. He say, but of him are ye in Yahushua HaMashiach, who is of Elohim, made unto us wisdom and righteousness and sanctification and redemption, that according as it is written, he that glory, let him glory in the Mashiach. See, we turn around with it, if we gonna glory, let's glory in Yahuwah. Let's glory in the Most High. Ain't got no business glorying in no man or glorying in ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So you turn around and look at it, when he look at love and favor, what's the love and favor of Yahuwah, gentlemen? What's the love and favor of Yahuwah? To do his commands will show that you loved him. But what's the love? He say that a good name is to be chosen rather than great jewels, and love and favor rather than silver and gold. He just told you to receive his instruction and not silver and gold. And he said that wisdom is better than rubies, and nothing that a man could want could be compared to it. So what is that loving favor of Yahuwah? Eternal life. Because what did he tell you? Elohim so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. What did his son come to give you? Love and favor is just another word for grace, which is a undeserved gift or favor. Something that you didn't earn. Ephesians 2:7. It's something you ain't earned. So the love and favor of Yahuwah that you ought to desire to have that good name, to have a good name, is to have the name of Yahuwah on you, the name of a Mashiach on you. Get you 2 Timothy 2:19, go along with it. That's why you got to keep your name clean. We also hold in Luke 6:23, and we'll get back to Songs of Solomon chapter 1. You know what I'm talking about? See, I'm going to tell you something, man. You got a problem with me. Boy, come holler at me. You know what I'm talking about? See, how I was told how that went down, see, I don't like that. That's some real sucker stuff to me, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm a different type of individual. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I was raised different. That's a sucker type stuff to me. That's some type of stuff that if we was in the street, dude would slap you in your mouth for something like that. I don't know about where y'all from. That's what they'll do around here. But see, we can't live like that. I ain't saying that I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. See, Lamp know this here because I used to say this when I was in high school. Even back then, 16, 17 years old. I'd be like, well, I'm finna punch this dude in his face. But people who knew me knew that I wasn't actually talking about placing my hands and knuckles upon somebody. They knew that I was finna go punch them in the face with words. You know what I'm talking about? And not words as forth as being malicious and spiteful or saying to be mean. But boy, I'm finna come with straight truth upside your behind. Because I learned real early that you can hurt somebody more with the words that you say than you actually putting your hands on them. Because them words will stay with them. You know what I'm saying? My big homie Damon, he died. He done passed. He passed last year. He used to tell me that. He said, boy, when you say something to somebody, boy, that stuff stayed with them. Like you still with them. You know what I'm saying? You ain't seen that person in a month, 2 months, but what you said to them, you still with them. You know what I'm saying? I actually learned that from him anyway, because he the one put me up on that type of stuff to drop that knowledge on them and cut people down with words. Not to be cutting them down to build yourself up. But you know what I'm talking about? But the boom, 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 boom. Let somebody know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? You know, I love that dude there, man. You know what I'm saying? I really, you know, it wasn't y'all will. I really wanted Big Brother, you know what I'm saying, to get down with this here, man. You know what I'm saying? Because he had a major influence on my thought process as I was growing up. You know what I'm talking about? Ephesians 2:7. Actually, make it 2:4. He said, but Elohim, who is rich in mercy for his great love wherewith he loved us, even when we were dead in sins, have quickened us together with the Mashiach. By grace, ye are saved. So this is that love and favor. Get your 2 Timothy 2:19, and also we'll look at 1 John chapter 4 and about verse 10. We'll get to Luke 6:23 in a minute. 2 Timothy 2:19. Excuse me. Y'all all right this evening? You know what I'm saying? You know, it's this stuff come with the territory, man. You know, people gonna say stuff about you. You know what I'm saying? Don't let it bother you. But I will protect my integrity, though. That I will do. He say, nevertheless, the foundation of Elohim stands sure, having this seal. The Mashiach know them that are his, and let everyone that name the name of a Mashiach depart from iniquity. Because a good name, the name of Mashiach, the name of Yasharal, the name of Yahusha, that's a good name, man. That's a name above all names, of which that can be called under Shamahim, by which all men must be saved. You know what I'm saying? You must be saved by that name. Don't you realize when you name the name of a Mashiach, when you name the name of Yasharal, because Yasharal is his name, that is better than any amount of riches you can receive? Just like what we talked about on Wednesday and the week before. What you worrying about what you going to wear, what you going to do, all this type of stuff. Now, we're not saying that, you ain't got to handle your business. But he say, seek the kingdom of Elohim, and all these things will be added unto you. Because that loving favor, that Ruach HaKodesh is greater than the riches of this life. So that's why he told you, he say where your treasure is, your heart will be also. You know what I'm saying? So where is your treasure at? Because he said that love and favor was greater than silver and gold, and wisdom is to be desired above that. And he said to receive his instruction over that. What was his instruction? 1 John chapter 4 and about 13. Is that it? Like to see, he talking hard these days. So y'all ain't finna have me back this here. Somebody better acknowledge me. Make it 9. And this was manifested the love of Elohim towards us, because that Elohim sent his only begotten Son into the world, that we might live through him. Herein is love, not that we loved Elohim, but that he loved us and sent his Son to be the propitiation for our sins. Don't you see that's that love and favor right there? That's the love and favor of you. That man became the propitiation for your sins, to redeem your sin. You ought to love that. You ought to want that than silver and gold. You see how that's love and favor? What did you do to get that? What did you do? You didn't do nothing. He say, beloved, if Elohim so loved us, we ought to also to love one another. See, now this is something that I need for all of y'all to sit back. Because we done read it numerous times. I done said it to y'all numerous times. I don't know if it tend to register in y'all brain. If you say that all us in this thing together, then y'all ought to love each other the same way this man loved you. Have I not ever told y'all that before? But yet I don't think that sometimes that y'all really look at that and execute that. Why would you say this is your brother, this is your sister, and you would do something to them that you would not want done to you? You know what I'm saying? You don't turn around and say you love somebody and then hurt them or do things to hurt them. And if you did do something to hurt them and they let that be known that you hurt them, that you couldn't be adult enough to acknowledge what you did and correct that because you say that you love this person. You know what I'm talking about? See, I know some of y'all, man, some of y'all ain't had every form of love. Because y'all ain't had that form of love where somebody tell you about your black behind. Just because somebody tell you about your black behind don't mean that they don't love you. Just because they don't agree with your behavior don't mean that they don't love you. You know what I'm talking about? See, I done told you before, the only thing, there's a saying, they be like, future behavior is gone by past performance. That's what people usually predict what somebody gonna do based off past performance. See, a lot of y'all come from that immature childhood type stuff that where y'all think people base their viewpoint off you based on what somebody say about you. You know what I'm saying? When adults base their viewpoint off people about what you show them. If you show something different, then that viewpoint would change. You know what I'm saying? You have to sit back and look at it. See, y'all don't sit back and realize this, and I tell y'all this, y'all don't believe me. I don't speak on everything that I see. But that's going to sit back and that's going to look at, this is how people going to sit back and look at, they're going to see your personality, they're going to see your character, they're going to see the things that you do, they're going to see the things that you don't do. Because even the things that you don't do could end up negative depending on the situation. And this is how they're going to move on how they're going to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? So if you come and after a person and they make an assessment about you, the assessment is going to be made based off what you have shown. And if you don't like the assessment that was made, then that means you need to, that's no different. Any of y'all done had a job evaluation. Did that, you know what I'm saying? And that job evaluation, they evaluated your job, your work based on what you did. Now, if it's a true impartial person, they don't say they ain't let no personal feelings come into play, none of that type of stuff. I'm just evaluating you based on what you showed me. And some of y'all be mad when them people gave you a bad evaluation. See, they got a problem with me. See, they look at me like this here. No, I looked at your work. This is what I seen. They go through this in sports all the time. Dudes get cut because we got an evaluation, we looked at the film, we looked at the tape, buddy, you suck. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing about it, the tape don't lie. The tape don't lie, dude. That game film don't lie. You know what I'm saying? That game film don't lie. Boy, you got beat on 3 inside blocks. You know what I'm talking about? You couldn't get off the line, no separation. You made horrible reads in the pocket. You know what I'm talking about? There was a man streaking wide open. You looked right at him and threw in the double coverage. You suck. You know what I'm talking about? That's just evaluation. I can't look at, man. We got rid of Blaine Gabbert. Blaine Gabbert's in San Francisco because the film says you sucked. You know what I'm saying? We watched you for 2 years and watched you play and say, you know what? That guy sucks. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't because we had a problem with Blaine Gabbert. I mean, if you suck, you suck. You know what I'm talking about? But what I'm sitting back saying is, though, but if you won't, you know, there were some quarterbacks at one time that weren't players that weren't that good. You know what I'm talking about? But you know what they went and did? Went in the gym, shot a lot of jumpers. You know what I'm talking about? Ran a lot of routes. Did a lot of work in the pocket on footwork and mechanics. Came back a soldier. Because they looked at the evaluation, they looked at the scouting report, they seen what they were doing, and they corrected that. And then guess what happened? They didn't say that. People didn't say these people sucked anymore, did they? So that's a good play.
Look at the turnaround.
Look at the turnaround. It's most improved play. I just seen, boy, they say Jay Cutler the most improved quarterback in the NFL. You know what I'm talking about? Boy, they were killing Jay Cutler last year. They were killing. He's not a bad player. No, he's above average. You know what I'm talking about? But they were killing him. Because you got to sit back and look at, people only can judge you by what you show them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to learn to not take stuff personal. You know what I'm talking about? Sit back and look at, if somebody said this is what they seeing from my behavior, maybe I need to look at myself and assess myself and correct that, so that would no longer be my behavior, therefore it wouldn't be no longer be said, therefore that viewpoint wouldn't exist. You know what I'm saying? You have to sit back and look at that. You know what I'm talking about? You have to sit back and look at that. Now, I also will say that sometimes people can base viewpoints off people. It's ignorance. Based on how they look or how they speak and judge somebody off of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. But I'm going to go by what you show me. That's what you show me. That's what you show me. You know what I'm saying? But I knew women coming up. By what they show me, I know, boy, yeah, man, she's a hoe, man. How you going to say that there? Because I seen her do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's suspect right there. That's pointing in that direction. And you know what usually happens later on down the line? It came out. Man, my homeboy came in there. I said, boy, that nigga smoking dope, bro. He said, boy, no, he ain't smoking. I said, boy, that nigga smoking dope, boy. He said, boy, how you, boy, that nigga came in here. He had a 40. He wouldn't let me catch it. He went to act like this here, threw a tantrum, all that type of stuff. I'm seeing junkie tendency. This is my homeboy. I grew up with him. I ain't saying I'm looking at him thinking, oh, this junkie nigga. No, I'm saying this nigga smoking crack. I see by what you're doing. You smoke crack. There's no way around that.
Smoke crack, don't you?
You know what I'm saying? But what I'm sitting back saying is his behavior is what I wouldn't have sat around and thought say he was smoking crack just to be saying it. You know what I'm talking about? I said it because I was watching his behavior. It was consistent with somebody who does that. You know what I'm saying? So you have to sit back and look at what is the consistent pattern of behavior that you show on a regular basis. Because all y'all say you want the love and favor of Yahuwah, which is better than choice silver and gold, which is the Ruach HaKodesh. So what pattern of consistent behavior are you showing that you would be representative of that? You know what I'm saying? Just like we were talking about on Wednesday. You got to subscribe to evidence. You know what I'm talking about? And it's got to be sealed in the front of witnesses, that which is open and that which is seen. You know what I'm saying? So that which is sealed and that which is seen. So you already know if you seal with the Ruach HaKodesh, that means the evidence is subscribed on your heart, meaning the word is in you. So you can't see that. You know what I'm talking about? But that which can be seen is your consistent pattern of clean living, your consistent pattern of sanctified living on a day in, day out basis, taking up your stake and suffering. It will be seen by all. There will be no question. There will be no doubt. That's why when they see the Mashiach, they say, truly, that was the son of Elohim. You know what I'm talking about? I see him. I know. He say, man, no man can do these miracles unless Elohim be with him. God got to be with him for him to be able to do it. It's impossible for him to do what he's doing if this is not the case. Could they see the Ruach HaKodesh in the man? No. But that which was open, they could see it. They could see it by his works. You know what I'm saying? So you need to consider that. What are you showing people? See, I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. You gotta take off them diapers you got on, put your big girl and big boy drawers on, and be a man and be a woman about it. If you don't like how people look at you, change it then. You know what I'm saying? Change it then. Change it. And they won't look at you that way no more. Because your behavior is the predicator of that. Y'all don't really sit back and assess your behavior and what y'all be doing. Y'all don't think about what you do. You don't think about what you say. You don't think about none of that. You just do stuff. Then when the consequences fall down on your head, then you upset. But just like what we talking about, you the dog, nigga. You the dog. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at that. Man, I done dealt with that my entire life. I remember I was like there hustling. I wasn't even hustling yet. I'm with my homeboys. They hustling. But I'm out there on the corners in front of the store where they sell dope at. You know what I'm talking about? And then I'm going to college, and one of the people who work with my mama, he see me, he say, boy, I seen you out there, boy. I wasn't selling no dope. But how am I going to go off on this man because what he's seeing me out here with them on a consistent basis. You know what I'm talking about? So if I don't want him to think that I'm selling crack, you know what for me not to do? Don't go around there. You know what I'm talking about? So if I'm going around there, what else is he going to think? Your behavior, what I'm seeing, leads me to believe you sell crack cocaine. That's on me. You know what I'm saying? That's on me. I can't get mad at him for that. That's what I'm showing him. So if I want him to see something different, show him something different. See, y'all don't think about stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all, man, being from these Duval County streets, you can't be that way. You know what I'm saying? You can't go off of what somebody say about somebody or this or what you think. You going by what you seen. You can see somebody and somebody go, oh, that brother cool. But yet you seeing stuff, you like, boy, that nigga that look kind of shady, man. I'm gonna watch that dude. You know what I'm saying? You mess around, find out, I knew I should have watched that dude because he done went and did something slimy. And see, you around here naive, like this here, it wouldn't matter, like this here, I can put it like this here, right? I give you a perfect example and I leave it alone. Pale. Josiah. Pale told me, yeah, man, Josiah moving down here, man, this, that, there, and the third. I'ma deal with the dude on the strength of Pale. Pale say the dude all right. Even though Pale tell me the dude all right, that meant absolutely nothing to me till I actually meet the dude, speak with the dude, and deal with the dude. I'm going to give him a chance because my homeboy say he's straight. You know what I'm talking about? But I still got to holler at him. My first conversation with the man, Pale know he was there. We was at Owl's Pizza on the riverside. I said, boy, that nigga that's solid. I'm going to watch that nigga. And you know what happened? I was right. You know what I'm saying? Because he showed me something. See, I wouldn't just because Pale said he was straight. So if I go on Pale saying he's straight and just go boom, that you know what's going to happen? All the stuff I heard him say out of his mouth, I'm going to disregard it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, but I'm going to still watch you. I'm going to say, maybe you just had a bad day. I know that ain't the case, but maybe you just had a bad day. I'm going to watch you, though, because I'm listening to what you saying out your mouth. This is what I'm basing my judgment on, what you saying to me, what you showing me. And everything he said to me in that first conversation showed over the period of time that this is what type of time he was on. On a natural level, he all right people. Come to the word, I can't fool with you like that, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. You know, you can have some people say, they can say all manner of stuff about me, man. They can say, you know, that's a good dude. He just that, there, and the other. They can say he a nasty nigga. He conceited. He this, he that. Who knows? You wouldn't know till you came and talked to him. You wouldn't know till you came and been around him, and you'd be like, you know what? What they said about that dude, that wasn't true. Either way, whether it was positive or negative. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody influence how I look at somebody based on what they tell me, unless they stating on facts that this person did A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You know what I'm talking about? Then I get around them, I'm going to watch for that behavior that somebody told me that this person did, and I'm going to see do what they do match up with the information I was already given. If I see the information, if the behavior matches up with what I was already given, then I'm going to see that's that type of person then. When you look at Hamashiach, they said, when he came, will he say if he's not the Mashiach, will he do miracles? Will the Mashiach come do miracles like he did? Because they had already been told what the Mashiach should do, didn't they? They already know, they had already been told. Some of these people were looking at what he was doing, they see it lines up. This is him, because his behavior is consistent with what we were told. You know what I'm talking about? So you have to sit back and look at that. People look at behavior. Little kids look at what somebody, oh girl, she's a hoe, she this. Oh bro, you don't mess with that nigga, he a buster, bro, this, that. That's what little kids do. Grown people look at behavior. You know what I'm saying? They look at behavior. Because you know what? You can't lie on behavior. You can't lie on that. We feeling, come on back over here to Luke 6 and 23. You can't lie on no behavior now. I'm just telling you what I know. Make it 20. After we look at that, get Zephaniah 3 and about verse 17, I believe. We're going to get to the point of the matter. Y'all forgive me. I just had to tell y'all that. Maybe it helps somebody out. I don't know. I'm just sitting back telling you, it's the same way with y'all, man. If you don't want y'all to look at you as a sinner, you don't want y'all to look at you with a bad way, must have been nasty. Then change how the way you work.
We got the last little bit.
And it says, and he lifted up his eyes on his disciples and said, blessed be ye poor, for yours is the kingdom of Elohim. You know what that means to be poor right here? Get this Zephaniah, then we come back to Luke. You know what that means to be poor in this instance?
Well, it's kind of late now. It's all sold to the bottom.
Be humble. Yeah, to be broken. Humble. Absolutely, gentlemen. Absolutely. It's 3 and 12 that I desire.
Yeah, the bottom, that's always it.
Make it 11. Absolutely. We got to be broken. We got to be broken. You know, it was something that long time ago, we preached about this long time ago. I don't know if it's on the page with my name on it or at the bottom of the assembly channel. But you know, in Ecclesiastes, it talk about he came out of prison to reign, and they that are born in this kingdom are poor. You know what I'm saying?
Keep it gangster.
You know, I think when we preach about it, I think we use Joseph as the example. But you know, Joseph went into prison, right, and he came out into reign, and everybody who was in his kingdom, they were humble, because you turn around and look at it, his brothers came, they were humbled by what they had done to him. You know what I'm saying? And you see Hamashiach came up out of prison to reign, and that everybody who's born of him must be humbled. You got to be afflicted. You got to suffer. And when we talk about affliction and suffering ain't always talking about monetary things or all these type of things. It's just talking about you got to be humbled. If it tells you that Hamashiach learned obedience from the things that he suffered or the things that he was afflicted by, what makes you think that you're not going? He say, even though he was a son. In order for you to be a son, you got to be humbled. In order for you to get that love and favor, you're going to have to be humble. See, a lot of y'all don't want to be humble. See, I done told y'all this so many times, pride is the biggest reason of why a lot of y'all not going to be saved. Pride is the problem. Pride. Hey, little buddy. That's my man. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. Gave it to him. Same thing. He gave it to him. They inherited that. You know, the word tells you that all the time, that the meek will inherit the earth. And you know, when we look at rats, you look at earth in this instance, I done told y'all this before, man. The earth is a Mashiach. The humble will inherit the son, and he that overcometh, well, I will be his Elohim, and he shall be my son, and he will inherit all things. You'll have dominion and rule. You'll be joint heirs with the man if you suffer with it. Because that means you got to be humble. See, the reason why some of y'all don't get it, because you ain't got no humility in you. You got fake humility. You know how to prepare, you know how to appear to be humble in front of people who don't know you, that they would be fooled that you humble. But in actuality, your heart's full of dead man bones and all manner of uncleanliness. Why would you know, righteousness comes from the inside out, not the outside. You know what I'm saying? So why would you not want that righteousness to just emanate to where people can see it, instead of trying to convince them? You know what I'm saying? You know, we just talking about this here, man. You know, ain't finna go in no detail. You know, we ain't got to convince nobody. You know what I'm talking about? And if people don't want to believe that we doing what we supposed to be doing, that's y'all. I don't care. You know what I'm talking about?
That's your prerogative.
I'm gonna put it to you like this here, and then I'm gonna read the verse.
You know I got something for everything. You
know, I used to listen to Jay-Z real heavy because it was dope boy music. You know what I'm talking about? He had that song PSA, and in the middle of that song, they had something from a movie. I don't know where it come from. But I know that lady was on there talking. She was like, I did not come here to show out. I did not come here to impress you. You know what I'm talking about? Because he say, what? Because he say, when I leave here, I'm gone. And I don't care what y'all think or say about me. But he say, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, you'll never be able to say that I lied to you, Jack. See, I lived my whole life. That's why I used to just rewind that song just to hear that part. I really like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I felt, though, because I never come to show out and I don't come to impress nobody. Because I ain't never cared what nobody thought about me. You know what I'm saying? The only people who can sit here that can attest to that amongst all of y'all is Langston and Fat Boy and my sister. They the only people who can bear witness in the flesh to know I ain't never cared what nobody thought about me. I ain't never came around and felt like I needed to impress anybody or convince anybody that I was this, that, there, and the third. I can remember when I was incarcerated, a dude seen me, I was 19. And he was like, yeah, man, so you was selling weed. I had locks in my head then. He like, you selling weed on the beach, dread? Like I said, he ain't think, I ain't knew. He thought I was a chump. So he sized me. I ain't sitting there telling him, oh, I was selling weed. I'm like, what you in there? I said, man, I got caught with a little weed, man. You know, I was trying to do my thing, man. He said, you ain't sell no weed. So he sized me like, when I went to running them numbers down, you know what I'm talking about? And that nigga was like this here, just like, yeah, I get this here, boom, 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 boom. He ain't ever say nothing to me about that ever again. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I ain't trying to impress you, but better believe, because I'm not flogging. I ain't got no time to flog for no grown. I look like flogging for a man. Like, straight up. Man, you know how much of a sucker you got to be to put on for a grown man? Ain't gonna be putting on for no man. Definitely ain't gonna put on for no woman. What you see is what you get. You know what I'm talking about? You don't like it? I don't know what to tell you. And I tell y'all that. What you around here flogging and pretending for? Just be you. Any of y'all ever seen that house party with Bernie Mac in it? I can't say what he said. Remember what he told the dude with the stank breath? Well, he used to be a comedian. He was on the second Real World in Los Angeles. He said, if they don't like you, F them. F them, F them, F them. You know what I'm talking about? Well, that's how I felt. You don't like me, so what? I'm going to lose sleep by it. Oh, you ain't real, so I'm going to lose sleep by it. I'm going to get mad with you because you say I ain't real. I know what I'm doing. I know how I'm living. I know where I'm going. That's why Mashak told him, he said, man, look at John chapter 8 before we even read this F9 3. That's why Mashak told him this right here, man. You going to sit here and tell me about me? Well, I know what I got going on. Care nothing about what you talking about. 8 and 13. John 8 and 13. You can know 8 and 13. Nigga, crazy. You know what I'm talking about? One thing about it, you ain't got to walk around and try to convince nobody. Man, that stuff gonna speak for itself. Say the Pharisees therefore said unto him, thou bear record of thyself, thy record is not true. Yahusha answered and said unto them, though I bear record of myself, my record is true. For I know whence I came and whither I go. But you cannot tell whence I came and whither I go. I know where I come from. I know what I'm doing. I don't care nothing about what you talking about. Come on back to Zephaniah 3 and 11. You feel what I'm talking about? I don't care nothing about what you talking about. Oh, you ain't real, so I'm supposed to be moved because you said that. Because that's basically what they told him. You ain't real. He said, all right. What does that mean to me? I know where I come from and I know where I'm going. You don't know where I come from. You don't know where I'm going. Basically, you don't know me. You know what I'm talking about? How you going to say something about me? You don't even know me. You know what I'm talking about? That's the mind frame you supposed to have. Why you worry about somebody saying something about you don't even know you? So I'm going to bend over backwards to convince you about me. I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going. I know how I'm living. I can't let what you say. Means nothing to me. That means something to you.
Used to. Constantly.
It ain't never bothered me. Boy, I'm going to tell y'all something. Boy, I was hustling one time. Man, dude talking about I was smoking crack. That I was going with a baser. You know what I'm talking about? All type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Boy, we just getting money in here. Nigga, we clocking about $10,000 a week. Nigga, I don't care what you niggas say. Nigga, all your customers coming around here talking about I'm smoking base. I'll smoke all of it too then, nigga. Every last bit of it. I'm geeked up right now counting this cash. Straight up. Straight up. You know what I'm talking about? To the point. And see, this is why I tell y'all that anybody who loyal to me or hear somebody say something disparaging about me and they know me and they straight that, that's why I always love them. I'm thinking about my homegirl Poo Poo right now. You know what I'm saying? I love Poo Poo to the day for this right here. Dude I knew from the beach. With that instance, what I'm talking about, when we were clocking about 10 bands a week in this trap, killing it, he seen me and Justina. I was hustling around there. He didn't know that Poo-Poo and a couple other people there, they know me. Like, we grew up together. They know me. You know what I'm talking about? He like, oh, yeah, man, that nigga that smoke crack. Nigga that smoke crack. You don't know they know me. Went off on him. They came, like they said, somebody else came and told me that they went off on him about that. You know what I'm talking about? He said, yeah, man, boy, they talking about that he was smoking crack. They said, man, that man won't let you smoke a boonk in his car. That man don't smoke no. Went off on him. He looking crazy because he didn't know who he was talking to. He didn't know you just said something foul about me around 3-4 people who actually know me. You know what I'm talking about? They already know what you talking about. He smoked though. I know you lying. I know you lying. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't even gonna say nothing to the dude. For what? I ain't gotta validate myself to you, nigga. Straight up and down. Cause I don't care nothing about that. People gonna say what they gonna say. You know what I'm talking about? But if he would have impugned on my integrity, now if he would have said I snitched on somebody or something, then Cole would have had to see me. You know what I'm talking about? Because now you trying to, you messing my integrity right there. I don't care nothing about you talking about I'm smoking no dope. That don't bother me. I know I don't smoke no dope. You know what I'm talking about? But boy, you ain't finna be sitting around here talking about I told on nobody. Because now you're going to have to see me. 3 and 11. Zephaniah. In that day shalt thou not be ashamed for all thy doings, when thou hast transgressed against me. For then I will take away out of the midst of thee them that rejoice in thy pride, and thou shalt be no more haughty because of my Kadesh mountain. Watch him, he might roll. I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of Yahuwah. The remnant of Yasharal shall not do iniquity, nor speak lies, neither shall thy deceitful tongue be found in their mouth. Listen what he tell them. For they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid. Then he sit back and say the thief came to steal and to destroy, but his gonna enter into the sheepfold to have rest, then didn't he? Where is she gonna feed and lie down at but in the shepherd's tent? And where is the shepherd's tent at? In Jerusalem. And the only way you're gonna be able to get there is if you be humble. Wouldn't y'all agree? Come on around here to back to Luke chapter 6. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit back and worry about something. See, some stuff come with the business. You know what I'm talking about? Some stuff just come with the business. Sometimes when you get in certain businesses, certain things go along with it. Just a part of the territory. Stuff don't bother. Like I say though, integrity can never be impugned. Don't let nobody ever impugn your integrity. You know what I'm saying? You got to protect that now. You got to protect that now. Protect it. Your integrity is a serious thing. Because that states that who you are as a person. If I feel like you ain't got no integrity, I wouldn't want to have nothing to do. Like, if I felt Lank didn't have any integrity, I wouldn't do business with this man. Why would I do business with? Because somebody who don't have any integrity is liable to do anything at any time. 6 and 20. And he lifted up his eyes on his disciples and said, Blessed be ye poor, for yours is the kingdom of Elohim. Blessed are ye that hunger now. I just want y'all to think about this here too, because this is going to relate to something in a minute. Blessed are ye that hunger now, for ye shall be filled. And blessed are ye that weep now, for ye shall laugh. Blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you, and cast your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake. Rejoice in that day, and leap for joy, for behold, your reward is great in Shamahim. For in like manner did their fathers unto the prophets. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to this thing, man, people going to lie on you. People going to say stuff about you. And it just is what it is. All you just supposed to say is, hallelujah. Come along with it. If you know, because at the end of the day, if you're doing what's right, boy, y'all going to vindicate you in the end. You know, Allah tell you that. He said, I will not justify the wicked over the righteous. You got to remember what Jacob said about Laban. My righteousness will prove me out. You ain't got to, sometimes you're going to defend yourself. Every situation, you don't got to defend yourself because y'all will prove and vindicate you in the end. You know, at certain instances, Amashiach defended himself, didn't he? Did he do that from time to time?
Yeah, he did.
You know what I'm saying? He let that be known. Hold up. I can't let you get off like that there. And other time, he ain't say a word. Why he ain't say a word? Because his righteousness was going to prove him out. He didn't have to. He didn't have to. When they told him, oh, he got a devil, he straightened them people about that. You know what I'm talking about?
That's his integrity.
That was, yeah, you straight up and down. You sizing my integrity. You saying I'm casting out devils by the prince of devils, Beelzebub? He said, don't you know a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand? He said, are you serious? You just sized my integrity right. I can't let that slide. You know what I'm talking about? I got this shit. Matter of fact, even when they came to him, he ain't say a word. They were saying all these lies on him, he ain't say a word. But when they say we enjoy you by the living of Elohim, whether you be a Mashiach or not, he went ahead and told him. Because I ain't lie about that now. I ain't lie about that now. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't got no shame standing on that. I ain't lie about that. Y'all had to look at stuff like that. Man, come on back to this Song of Solomon though. We done got off track, but we ain't got off track.
Fit perfect.
That's one thing about that, boy. I'm a man. I'm a man by mine. You know what I'm talking about?
So I'm a boy, then.
No, I'm a man, damn it. Man, I ain't no boy. You're a boy. I mean, you is a punk. You sit there and look at it, he run around talking, I'm a boy, Damon. That's why he was chasing you. That's why he was chasing you, because you was a boy.
Fresh out too.
Straight up. You talking about you a boy? That's what they call punks in prison. You go to prison, somebody call you a boy, you gonna want to fight. I got your boy. Nigga, you made me a boy. We look at about verse 9. It says thy cheek, well, let me go ahead and read verse 10. It says thy cheeks are comely with rows of jewels, thy neck with chains of gold. What do y'all think that means that it said when he says his cheeks are comely with rows of jewels? What do you think that would mean? Any of you brothers got an idea? There you go. There you go, Corey. His mouth is full of wisdom. Now, where do these niggas, because the word in Hebrew for here, in this here is, I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong, but I'm talking about for the word that's used in that particular passage for jewels. It means circuit, plat, turn, hair of gold, or succession order, but it's Torah. It's spelled T-O-R-E. It's a masculine noun. We'll deal with it in time. Y'all permit me. So we see it actually when he say his cheeks are comely with rows of wisdom or order. Now, why would this be important if it say his cheeks are comely with order? That means his mouth is beautiful with words, not gold teeth. How are niggas so dumb? And you know what this is? And a lot of them claim to be Hebrew experts too. How you so dumb that you think they're talking about gold teeth? How many of y'all ever read this verse and thought it was talking about gold teeth? Well, I think you. Go ahead. And I ain't mad at you because you ain't know no better. Hey, still standing. And if you did, I ain't mad at you because if you ain't know no better, what else would you have thought? Or if somebody would have presented it to you looking at it in English, why else would I heard it like that, but I never paid it no weight and I never repeated it. You know what I'm saying? Understand? I feel you. Ain't nothing wrong with that, Corey. And Stanley and Darius, ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Because looking at it at face value, and you ain't really thinking nothing of it, and you look at your people, and they telling you that this book is about us, and you see him saying cheeks, jewels, gold teeth. You see all the people you know they got gold teeth, it would go together. You feel what I'm saying? The way you... Yeah. Hey, I ain't mad at you, man. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I ain't picking at nobody who did. That's a logical thought process if you don't know no better and you looking at that or you run across that and somebody present that to you. You know what I'm saying? That's a logical thought process, especially if you from the South, because almost everybody in the South got goals in their mouth. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. I understand that. My issue is with them who really push that and they call themselves learned men. I'm talking about them. They ought to know better. You know what I'm saying? They ought to be willing. They ought to be able to fully explain that to you. You understand what I'm talking about? I ain't talking about y'all. Y'all coming in, somebody tell you that. That makes sense. Like I said, I ain't giving much weight. You sit back and look at it, shoot. That boy probably did have goals in their mouth, boy. But now as you begin to deal with the word and you get a little bit of understanding, you begin to grow and mature, you look at stuff, oh look, man, I don't think this talking about no gold teeth. So the whole time he said this man's cheeks is comely with order or with word. So let's look at Ecclesiastes 12 and 13 and let's see about that. We're going to get around here to this Job 22 in a minute. I was going to come a refresher course with this Job 16, but I'll save it for another day. Because some of y'all wasn't with us when we first looked at that Job 16 about over a year ago. He just put it in my mind early this afternoon. We got to turn back round. Make it verse 9, actually. Ecclesiastes 12:9. We got to turn back round and bring that back to y'all remembrance when it pertains to a few things. It say, moreover, because the preacher was wise, he still taught the people knowledge, yea, he gave good heed, and sought out and set in order many proverbs. The preacher sought to find out acceptable words, that which was written was upright, even words of truth. So if he's sitting in order many proverbs, that means he's setting in order many dark sayings. So that's why his cheeks would be comely with jewels, or comely with Torah, or order. Because his cheeks were beautiful with wisdom. And what is wisdom? It's more precious than rubies. Don't you realize we look in the word and the word describes wisdom as jewels? Did y'all catch that? It described wisdom as jewels. Say it's more precious than rubies. You know what I'm saying? He say love and favor is better than choice silver and gold. So if we sitting back looking at love and favor is better than choice silver and gold, wisdom is above rubies, receive my instruction and not choice gold. You know what his instruction is? To believe on him whom he hath sent. When you believe on him whom he hath sent, then you can attain wisdom. A Mashiach has been made unto us wisdom. Wisdom is the fear of Yahuwah. The fear of Yahuwah will tend to everlasting life. Because you will have that reverence, that respect, which would mean if you had that reverence and respect. Hebrews 12 and about verse 9. When you have that reverence and respect, this is what would have occurred. Make it 7. 12 and 7. You know, some stuff ain't that hard to see. Some stuff is easy to understand, easy to ascertain. You know what I'm saying? But it's to really be opening up and dealing with stuff. You know, I already talked to Troy about it and talked to Corey about it. You know, I was going to mention it to you, that along with something else, little Stanley, but I'm going to mention it now. Because we're going to go on ahead and start delving into it. Y'all permit, you know, bit by bit, looking at the language and looking at the letters. Because as you already know, when we look at some of the meaning of these words and what these words actually are and what they actually mean, it opens up something different than what you're looking at in English. You know what I'm saying? I remember a dude I knew, he used to always talk about something. I just seen a dude post it. Because they go to IOG. IOG don't believe in really dealing with the Hebrew at all. You know, I've never been one of that thought process of not dealing with Hebrew. Nobody could ever come and tell you that I ever said that. And if they did, I tell them they lie to their face. They'll tell you, oh, there's like if you come and say Jesus ain't his name in Hebrew. And they'll be like, well, what language you speak? English. Consider that. I don't care about it. I just seen a dude say, you know, he wonder what language the Most High speak. You know what language he speak. He speak Hebrew. You seen him speak Hebrew to Paul. You know what I'm saying? Somebody mentioned that to him. He's like, that's deep, brother. I need to look into that. That's common sense. If the people of y'all spoke Hebrew, what else would he speak? When you got Nehemiah ready to put hands on people, because not ready, he did put hands on people because their kids could not speak the Yahudims language. So you know that's important because we know that they would separate us from our language because that would separate us from our power. That's common sense. Why else would you strip a people of their language? These people ain't strip you of the Hebrew language because for no reason. I strip you of your language. I strip you from your Elohim. I strip you from everything that can connect you to him. So I was never of that thought process because I understand warfare. That's why they took your name. That's why they took your languages. That's why they changed the prophet's name. That's why they changed the Mashiach's name. That's why they changed the father's name. That's why they did all of that. Because you would begin to hear that. You would begin to make a connection back to that. You know what I'm saying? If you heard it on a regular basis. Because it wouldn't resonate with no other people but one. The people who spoke. You know what I'm talking about? You get an African over here and he's been over here for a while. Let somebody come over here speaking Swahili. He gonna connect with him. You know what I'm saying? You instantly. You get somebody over here that spoke Spanish and then they don't speak it as much and let somebody speak Spanish around them and they hear that. They connect with them. That's common sense. You gonna connect with it because that's a part of you. That's who you are. You know what I'm talking about? So, y'all permit me. You know, we're going to begin to roll on that. You know what I'm talking about? So just be patient, be easy. Because like this here, right? Especially the stuff I was seeing this week too by dudes talking about it. It was already in my head and seeing that what language you speak. So me speaking English is an excuse not to know my native tongue. That's retarded. That don't make any sense. That make any sense to y'all? You gave me English because you didn't want me speaking in that. We didn't come over here speaking English, nigga. That's black people for you. Hebrews 12:7. If you endure chastening, Elohim deal with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But if you be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then you are bastards and not sons. Furthermore, we had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of Ruachs and live? For truly for a few days chastened us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his kadeshness. Now no chastening for the present seemed to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yields the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. That's what you're supposed to be sitting back looking at. Didn't he? He say the peaceable fruit of righteousness. He say, where is he whom my soul love, which calls his flock to rest at noon? The only way that flock gonna be able to rest is to get that peaceable fruit. Because if it's peaceable, that's shalom, right? That's rest. What was Hamashiach? How was he that peaceable fruit of righteousness? Because except the corn or wheat fall in the ground, it abide alone, but if it die, it bring forth much fruit. So you're going to have to be chastised and you're going to have to die. That's the only way you're going to be able to eat at the shepherd's tent. You know what I'm talking about? See, you got to sit back and you got to look at all these things, man, that go together about what you got to get at. Be able to get saved, you got to give up that pride. You're going to have to die to your flesh. You're going to have to be humble. You're going to have to be willing to become a son. You're going to have that fear, that honor, that respect. This is what Hamashiach had. He feared the Most High. He respected the Most High. So that's why he was willing to do what he said to do. That's why he said the fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of wisdom. In order for that wisdom and them comely jewel to be in his mouth, he had to fear the man. Remember, we already read in Proverbs chapter 8, he said, boy, I speak right things. All the things in my mouth are truth. Ain't nothing froward or perverse in them. So that means his mouth is comely with jewels. That's why the man say, why do you don't understand my speech? Even because you cannot hear my word, because you're not of my sheep, as I have told you. He say the flesh profiteth nothing. He said it's the spirit that quicketh. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. The word of Yahuwah is beautiful. It can convert the soul. Don't y'all realize if you let this word come up in here, it can change a man? It said the law of Yahuwah can convert the Psalm 19 itself. I don't think y'all sit back and realize, man, the word is supposed to take root and hold on you and change your thought process. (19 and 7). Say the law of Yahuwah is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of Yahuwah is sure, making wise the simple. The testimony of Yahuwah is what? It's the Son. It's the Son, though. Remember, right? To the law and the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, there's no light in them. Remember when we looked at that? Remember when you seen Hamashiach rise from the dead with a glorious body, shining like light? And what did he come and bring with him? Starting from Moses and through all the prophets, he expounded unto them the things concerning himself. There was light in him because he spoke according to the law and the testimony. If the law and if the testimony of Yahuwah is sure, that means it's good. We have a more sure word of prophecy, that you do well, that ye take heed, as the day dawn, as the day star arising in your heart, knowing that no scripture is of any private interpretation. But Kadesh men of Elohim spoke as they were moved by the Ruach HaKodesh. So Peter had already telling you what David told you here in Talahim, that, hey man, the testimony of Yahuwah is sure. You could take it to the bank. He said, we eyewitness of his majesty. We have not followed cunningly devised fables. This testimony is sure. Therefore it can make wise the simple. You know what I mean? You're simple, mean you're stupid. You know what I'm talking about? When we sit back and look at it, a baby is pretty much simple, right? They don't really know nothing. You're supposed to raise them up in that fear and that respect for you. So if you're hearing the testimony of a Mashiach, that should take you from being simple to being wise. And if you've been taken to being wise, that means you fear Yah. And if you fear Yah, that means you've been chastised. And if you've been chastised, that means the peaceable fruit of righteousness would allow you to be a partaker of his sanctification, therefore delivering your soul from death. Does that make sense to y'all? You gotta sit back and look at the word supposed to take hold of you. Your soul, your mind, your inward part supposed to change. It's supposed to be like, there used to be an old Skeletor, right? From He-Man. See, I had the toy, right? I don't think it was Skeletor, I think it was another one. His name might have been Man of War, if I'm not mistaken. But you could take it and spin it and his face would change. You know what I'm saying? He had like 3-4 different faces when you spun it. You know what I'm talking about? Well, I'm sitting there mentioning it like this here because you're supposed to go from being simple to being wide. It's supposed to be a change. You're supposed to be going from a center to being a Kodashim. You know what I'm talking about? You're supposed to be going from death to life. It's supposed to be a change. The word supposed to come in and change that. That means if you were proud, you would be humble. If you were a liar, you tell the truth. If you were lustful, you become pure. You know what I'm talking about? If you lack self-control, you gain temperance. If you were mean, you become kind. You know what I'm talking about? If you were selfish, you become selfless. You understand what I'm talking about? Like, this is what it's supposed to do. If it's not doing that, then the problem is not with the word. The problem is with you. That means the word profited, he said the gospel would preach. And it didn't profit all them that heard it, not being mixed in the faith with them that heard it. So that means you heard it, but you didn't believe it. Because if you believed it, it would have happened. Let me read verse 8 though. The statutes of Yahuwah are right, rejoicing the soul, rejoicing the heart, pardon me. The commandment of Yahuwah is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of Yahuwah is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of Yahuwah are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, much than fine gold, sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb. So you sit back, hold on. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping them there is great reward. Did you sit back and you see how he say the fear of Yahuwah is clean? It's clean. John 15:1. Yukonon 15:1. He say it's clean, man. He say it's clean, man. He said you ought to desire to fear Yah, his judgments, his commandments, his statutes, his testimony, his laws, more than gold.
Don't get talk about the furniture, bro.
Yeah, I ain't forgot that. Matter of fact, since I said it, we're going to get to it. I definitely want to say, shout out to the brother Mike Wash. You know, he be sending, commenting, asking about stuff, man. We definitely appreciate you. Y'all will if I don't touch these fringes tonight. I got you in the afternoon. But we definitely appreciate you. You know, he asked about Sunday, one of the videos, man. He commented on it. He asked about it. You know what I'm saying? But we most definitely appreciate the brother. Definitely bless him out the house of y'all. The name of Yahushua HaMashiach. We definitely appreciate it. So, it was in my mind about 5 minutes ago, too. We might not get it tonight. Yukonon 15:1. I'm looking at my timepiece. We approaching about 2 hours. We might got time. I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that bear not fruit, he take away, and every branch that bear fruit, he purge it, that he might bring forth more fruit. Now you are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. If he say the fear of Yahuwah is clean, and you clean from the word that he spoke unto you, guess what that means? The respect of Yah will be in you then, wouldn't it? He said by the disciples, I've given them thy word, and they have received it. Get over here Ephesians 5:27 real fast. Matter of fact, don't even worry about Ephesians 5:27. He said, you know, he done sanctified it and cleansed it by the washing of the water of the word, that you should be without spot, wrinkle, and blemish. You understand what I'm telling y'all? Spot, wrinkle, and blemish. That fear of Yah is supposed to make you clean. It's supposed to make you pure. It's supposed to change your heart. Hold on, somebody calling. Oh, no. Hey, I'm preaching right now, man. What's going on? Yep. Whew, boy, thank y'all for that. Probably was gonna be something crazy. Yeah, I know him. That's how he rolls. Come over here to Job chapter 22, y'all. Job chapter 22. I had some other stuff, man. I ain't gonna get to it tonight. I already said I ain't gonna get to it. Had a lot of things. Job 22 and about verse 3. We're going to try to roll Job 22. I had some stuff over here, man. And about 3-4 other chapters and some stuff I was looking at, man. But I ain't going to get to it today. But I got to get to one thing I mentioned. Didn't he say if you were hungry, you'll be fed? And we read that in Luke 6, right? Watch this here. 22 and 3. Book of Job. 22nd chapter, 3rd verse. And it says this. Is there any pleasure to Al Shaddai, I should say, that thou art righteous? Or is it gain to him that thou make thy ways perfect? Will he reprove thee for fear of thee? Will he enter with thee into judgment? Is not thy wickedness great and thy iniquities infinite? For thou hast taken a pledge from thy brother for naught, and stripped the naked of their clothing. Thou hast not given water to the weary to drink, and thou was withholding bread from the hungry. Now what this? Now y'all know who's speaking. Let me read to y'all who's speaking. This is Eliphaz the Temanite speaking. He's speaking to Job. He say Job has not given water to the weary, and he's withholding bread from the hungry. Now Hamashiach, we just read in Luke chapter 6 that Hamashiach said, those that are hungry, they'll be filled. Now any of y'all know what the name Job means? Any of y'all know what it means?
It's work.
Don't nobody know what it means? Hold on. It means afflicted. So he that's afflicted, they turn around and said, man, you ain't gave no water to them that were hungry. I mean, no water to them that were weary. You know what that mean to be weary? Tired. It also means hated too. And if you notice, Job's friends hated him really bad for what they said to him. They were talking bad about him, wasn't they? He just sat back in this verse right here and said, man, what pleasure it is of y'all that you righteous, or what gain to him is that you make your ways perfect. But we know it's not no gain to y'all, but y'all say, I don't have no pleasure in the death of the wicked, but that everybody would turn themselves and live. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell y'all something, right? Because I know sometimes y'all be like, I think some of y'all think I take pleasure in going off on y'all about stuff or making observations or assessment about things. Man, I don't take no pleasure in that. I would rather you do right. I would rather you be cognizant and conscientious, mature, upright men and women. You know what I'm saying? Stuff get told to you because, well, you're doing stuff that ain't right. You know what I'm talking about? You got a behavior, a thought process. You're not really looking at what you're doing. You know the reason why y'all don't look at what y'all be doing? Because y'all get caught up with a whole bunch of other stuff. Y'all be thinking about other stuff. You be worried about other stuff. You don't really sit back and look at what you're doing. You may not even look at what you're doing, how it affect other people. You know what I'm saying? You just looking at what you got going on right then. Sometimes you got to turn your mind away from that type of stuff. But let's look at Isaiah 41. I guess I will get Isaiah 41. I think it's about 22. If it's not 41, it's 40. It's 40. But we're going to drop down. And I'm going to get 20. I'm going to get 25. I'm not going to deal with 22 tonight. Isaiah 40 and 25. He say, to whom then will you liken me? Or shall I be equal, saith the Kadesh one? Lift up your eyes on high, and behold who have created these things, that bring out their host by number. He called them all by names by the greatness of his might, for he that is strong in power, not one fail. Now we already know. To whom will you liken me? Because there is no other name up under Shamahim which men can be named that a man must call on to be saved. Ain't nobody like Yahusha. Is there anybody like him? He's set apart. He got the keys of David. He could shut a door which no man can open, and he could open a door which no man can shut. He lived a life without sin. He lived without spot, wrinkle, and blemish, and offered himself a sanctified sacrifice unto Yah in order to redeem his people back unto him, that you could become the sons of Elohim. Did he not? Who you going to equal him to? Ain't nobody in the book equal to a Mashiach. Not Adam, not Moses, not David, not one prophet, not nobody you can come up with. Matter of fact, go and get this Revelation chapter 3. Because then he said you need to lift up your eyes on high and behold who created these things. He said, you will look upon me whom you have pierced. Don't you realize he up there on that state, they had to look up on high. He said, I'm the one who created all these things. Called they host out by number. And get your Colossians 1 and 15 to go along with it. He said, I created all these things. So I call the host by number. The host is the army. And he said he called him by name too, didn't he? Look at this Revelation chapter 3, man. Pick me up about verse 7. We work it like that. Then we'll drop down to about verse 12. He saying to the Malachim of the synagogue in Philadelphia, write these things, saith he that is Kadesh, he that is true, he that had the key of David, he that opened and no man shut, and no man opened. I know thy works, and behold, I set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. For thou hast had a little strength, and hast kept my word, and hast not denied my name. Didn't he say that those he didn't give no water to the weary? He said they had a little bit of strength, but didn't they? I mean, they were finna fall out, wasn't they? Some of y'all feel like y'all be ready to fall out. Some of y'all feel like you get a little light on strength, you're a little weary. I'm going to tell you something, little. I'm going to tell you, there's been times I done felt like that with some of the stuff I done had to deal with, but you keep on going, though. You know what I'm talking about? You sit back and tell me you ain't never felt weary doing this here, you lying. You know what I'm talking about? Or you ain't been afflicted. You know what I'm talking about? Because I done been there. I'm not finna sit here and tell you that lie. I done been there. Boy, you sit back looking at that, boy, you be like, boy, I don't know if I can keep going, boy. You know what you end up doing? You keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Pushing.
You gotta summon the strength from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I done been there. I'm not finna sit here and tell you I ain't never felt like that. I'm not finna tell you that lie. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna tell you that lie. It don't even be sitting back like you thinking that you want to go back to the world or nothing like that. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about you feel like, boy, I don't know if I can endure this. You know what I'm saying? Even when you turn around and you look at Mashiach, he was around here, he saw the Malachim and strengthened him, didn't he? Because he was a little faint. He was weary. He said, I'm exceedingly sorrowful even unto death. He was sitting there showing you, even as a man, you can become faint. You can become weak. You know what I'm saying? You're going to need some strengthening. Everybody who done deal with this word, you're going to experience that at some point in time where you be like, boy, I don't know if I can keep going. And again, I ain't talking about abstaining from sin. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't talking about wanting to go back to the world. I'm just talking about you don't think you got the strength to carry on or whatever it is that you're going through at that time. You know what I'm saying? You just feel like I'm tired, boss. I'm finna lay down. I can't go no further. You know what I'm saying? But if you ever seen the movies, the military movie, what you see somebody do, somebody come up and do. Pick somebody up and carry them on. You know why they do that? Because the word tell you two better than one. Because he said if he fall, he got somebody to pick him up. You know what I'm saying? That's what it say now. Don't that what it say? I would have said in Ecclesiastes, two better than one. That's why when you sit back and you look at the word, boy, this ain't nothing you want to do, dolo. You know what I'm talking about? You don't want to be dolo with it because you slip and fall. He say, boy, if you get cold, you got somebody to give you some heat. You know what I'm talking about? Say if you fall, you got somebody to pick you up. Say if ain't nobody with you and you fall, who gonna help you up? You just sitting there by yourself with an ankle. Remember the old commercial? You remember the old commercials? I've fallen and I can't get up.
Life flirt.
You know what I'm talking about? I've fallen and I can't get up. You see how them old people be looking at the commercial looking crazy? Because ain't nobody to help them pick them up. Shoot, boy, I just seen that in real life. Boy, my grandma fell on the floor, boy. We coming to house grandma on the floor. Grandma 80-something years old. But she was on the floor laughing though. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what she was laughing about. Scared every bit of life up out of me. And I ain't even, that's my first time being around her. Boy, you can't do that. Why you fall on the floor? But ain't nobody there to help her though. At the same time, ain't nobody there to help her though. You know, you hear it all the time. It's strength in numbers. You know what I'm saying? It's strength in numbers. One is a lonely number. You notice a lot of people who be alone, boy. You know what I'm saying? That's why I sit back and tell y'all something, man. Just go to every last one of y'all. Boy, if y'all dealing with anything in your life, please know that you don't got to deal with it alone. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of y'all used to doing stuff, man. When now you in a situation, man, you're not alone. Don't nobody around here start singing Michael Jackson.
You are.
I know he was gonna do it. That's why I said it. You know what I'm saying? But you're not alone. You're not alone physically, and if you serving the Mashiach and Ruach in truth, you're not alone spiritually either. But you gotta understand, you don't got to fight battles alone. Cause when you ain't got nobody with you, but you in a weakened state, you'll find out you're not as hard and you're not as tough as you thought you was. You know what I'm saying? Don't fight stuff alone, boy. It can be hard, man. I did talk with one of the brothers about that today. He was telling me that. That's what I'm reiterating it, not just for him, but for a couple. I had to tell him that, boy, you're not alone, man. You ain't got to carry this alone. Cause I know how that can be, boy, when you, cause I done did that almost my whole life. You know what I'm talking about? Boy, I know how hard that can be, boy, carrying stuff alone. You know what I'm talking about? I've been talking to T about some of this stuff all week. Boy, it's hard to carry burdens alone. You know what I'm talking about? Boy, I can remember growing up, boy, my homeboys looking at me like, boy, I got to be the one to get us all up out the street. I got to carry that burden alone. When I say burden, I mean not responsibility. You know what I'm talking about? I got to carry that alone. Boy, that's a hard thing to carry when people looking at you. That you got to be the one to do it. You know what I'm saying? So if you going through anything, you can't really bring that to nobody, because who you going to talk to? You know what I'm talking about? Who going to be able to relate to what you going through? So guess what that means? You got to carry it alone. But you know, some instances, though, man, some stuff people can relate to you. It ain't even if they can relate to it. It's just for an ear, for somebody to hear you talk. Y'all got to realize, man, don't be carrying stuff alone, man. You carry stuff alone, man, that stuff will eat you up on the inside. Why you think Mashiach can't walk alone? Even when he was sitting back feeling sorrowful to death, did he go up alone? He took Peter, James, and John with him, didn't he? Ain't that what he did? He took Peter, James, and John with him. He didn't go up there by himself. This man say, I'm exceedingly sorrowful, even unto death. And even that, he didn't carry that burden alone. You know what I'm talking about? He said, boy, y'all come with me. Y'all come up here with me. I don't want to be up here by myself right now. I can't be by myself right now. I need somebody with me. That's why he told him, you couldn't watch with me for 1 hour. You couldn't even hold me down. I couldn't be by myself right now. I needed you with me. That's why the book tell you, two better than one. You seen the man live there to do that. Now, if you sit back and look at, even when he was getting ready to die, he wasn't alone with that. Why you walk around alone? Don't make sense, do it. Now, when we look at the word and examine it, hold on, let me reread this Job 22. Make sure I got the right chapter. What I want. I'm just trying to tell you something, man. You just don't try to carry stuff alone, man. I know how it can be sometimes, man. Don't do that, though. You make it hard on yourself. Make it hard on yourself. What was I just when you talking about? Oh, I was in Isaiah. My apologies. Look how he mentioned, right? He said, lift up your eyes up. I'm just reading verse 26. Y'all ain't got to go get it. Stay in Revelation. And he said that he had created all these things and bring out the host by number. And he called them all by names, by the greatness of his might, because he's strong in power and not one fail. So when you turn around and you look at it, right? This is Revelation chapter 2 and about... I always forget what that's written. I know exactly what it says, but I always forget where I wanted it. 17. There it is. Thank y'all. Then we're going to get Colossians 1 and 14. You know what I'm saying? I know sometimes, boy, I can come off a little hard, a little harsh. That's just me, though. Maybe it's just because I'm from Duval County. Maybe it's because who raised me. But I'm sitting here telling y'all, though, man. I want y'all to understand something, man. Y'all do not have to carry stuff alone. Even, matter of fact, I'll give you an example. Even when the Mashiach had to carry his cross, didn't they have somebody with him? Simon the Cyrene was right there with him. He still wasn't alone. You sit back and look at it, even when he was crucified, he wasn't alone. Two men right next to him. You know what I'm saying? He still wasn't alone. Only time he was alone when he was in that grave. It's the only time he was alone. So when you look at that, ain't no shame in that, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody tell you that lie, man. You got to be, everybody got to be strong. Now, you can't run to everybody with every problem you got, because some stuff is minuscule. Nigga, suck it up, you grown. You know what I'm talking about? But some stuff, man, like I'm talking about, if it's weighing heavy on you, man, if it's some real tight stuff, man, you ain't got to carry that alone. Come tell you to eat you up on the inside, man. I'm telling you, I done been there. I know. You know what I'm saying? See, my sister knows. See, people don't know me like, I could be dealing with something, boy, and be stressed out to the max. You would never know it, though. You know what I'm saying? So for anybody to know it, they have to really, really know me to really know if I was, like, really stressed out or something. You know what I'm talking about? Because I wouldn't show it. Because I done been there where I was stressed out and you could see it. I seen it had also probably had a negative effect on my health. It really didn't really do nothing. You know what I'm talking about? So I was like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Walking around looking crazy ain't gonna do nothing. Like I was telling you the other day, boy, you be broke, you go to thinking crazy. You know what I'm talking about? You go to stressing and acting like that, boy, you go to thinking crazy. You don't want to be like that. Listen what he tell you. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Ruach saith unto the synagogues. To him that overcome will I give to eat of the hidden manna, and I will give him a white stone, and a stone, a new name written, which no man knows, saving he that receiveth. So don't you sit back and he gonna call you by name, because he say, my sheep know my name, and he say, my sheep know my voice, and they follow me. And what he said, he called them by name too, didn't he? You notice all the people he came up with and called them by name. You look at Zacchaeus in Luke 19, he said, well, that's the son of Abraham. He called him by name. Look at Cephas. He seen Peter say, your name is Simon Peter. Your name shall be Cephas. He called these people by name. He knew them because he created them from the beginning. Come over here to Colossians 1, though. We'll get done a little earlier. Everybody in a relaxed state. Colossians 1 and about verse 15. He said, who is the image of the invisible Elohim, the firstborn of every creature. For by him were all things created that are in Shamahim and that are in the earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him. He is before all things, and by him all things consist. He is the head of the body, the synagogue, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in all things he might have preeminence. Who will you liken to me, saith the sanctified one, the Kadesh one? That's what Isaiah 40 said. Then who you going to find right here who's the head of the body? Who's the beginning? The firstborn from the dead, who created all things. Who you going to find like him? Come on back to Isaiah chapter 40. And I be seeing dudes talking about you New Testament Israelites. Man, sit your monkey behind down somewhere, you big dummy. You know, you gonna tell us we following Greek mythology, and your stupid butt talking about David, who been dead for millenniums, is gonna resurrect from the dead and then go into Shamahim, then come back to Shamahim and come get you. But we the dummies though. This is what they believe now. David is gonna raise up from the dead, then go up on high, and then come back down and come get us. So you say we stupid, and you waiting for somebody to resurrect from the dead. This is what you waiting on. But we stupid. And you know what the word part is? He never said any time that David, son of Jesse, would do this. They just see my servant David and automatically assumed it was talking about David, son of Jesse. No, we done been through that before. But nevertheless, because I seen a dude keep talking about this all day. And sometimes, boy, you want to hit him with a Shawn Michaels. You know what I mean when I say hit him with a Shawn Michaels?
I'm talking about that spirit kick.
That super kick. Wow. The super kick. Sweet chin music. Kicking right in his mouth. I'm talking about, boy, I hope I knock all the dentures, cavities, gingivitis, halitosis right out your mouth. Straight up. You not look at what he said now. He's strong in power, right? And nothing fails. Nothing fails. Get your Isaiah 34 and 16. Swing. I already referenced it, so we're not going to read that. Then get your John chapter 20 and about verse 31. He said ain't nothing going to fail. He said he was created in power. You know it says a Mashiach was declared to be the son of Elohim with power and the Ruach HaKodesh and by the resurrection of the dead. He said the kingdom of Elohim is not in meat and drink, but in Ruach and in power. So all these things he was able to do by the power of Elohim. We can be able to do the same thing. That's what Mashiach say, the works that I do. He say you marvel. He say, but you'll do works greater than me. The only way you're going to be able to do those works that are greater than him is you're going to have to be able to take upon that power. This is what we lack as a people. Nobody wants to take on the power of Yah. To take on the power of Yah, you're going to have to give yourself up. That's how he was able to take it on. Y'all realize that, right? He said he was declared to be the son of Elohim with power by the resurrection of the dead. That means he had to die in order to live. In order for you to take on that same power, you're going to have to die in order to live. We already read that you could live your life through him. You need to stop seeking to live your life through yourself or through your family or through your friends or through whatever idiotic, retarded image that you done crafted in your simpleton brain and live through this man. 34 and 16. Seek ye out the book of Yahuwah and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. So he already told you ain't nothing going to fail. But hold on. Come over here to Philemon, I believe. The epistle of Philemon. Make sure that's the one that I want where he told him this. That might not be Philemon. I was just looking at this the other day, man. Trying to remember what that was, where he told him that. If I can't recall it, we'll save it for another day. And I'll go and dig it out. Suddenly he told Paul told them boys, I need y'all to bring these parchments and these books with you. You know what I'm talking about? See, you know the reason why Paul would tell this man in his epistle letter to bring these parchments and these. Here we go. 2 Timothy chapter 4. Y'all is faithful. 4 and 13. Make it 10 though. We'll work our way to it. 9 a little better. 2 Timothy 4 and 9. He say, do thy diligence to come shortly unto me. For Demas hath forsaken me, having loved this present world, and is departed unto Thessalonica. Christians to Galatia, Titus unto Dalmatia. You know, you sit back and look at that. He said, Demas, he said he loved the world. He left him. He went back. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's going to have people that's going to happen. You know, a brother came back, he say, man, I want to get back on the call, man. I want to watch the stuff again, man. I ain't been keeping none of the commandments. Because you love the present world, you went back to it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all sit back and look at it. You better be careful about that type of stuff where your heart be leaning toward, boy, you've been done, went back to it. He say, only Luke is with me. Now, of course, when he talk about these other men, you know Titus ain't go back to the world. Them boys was out there grinding, doing their thing. Say, only Luke is with me. Take Mark and bring him with thee, for he is profitable to me for the ministry. And Titus have I sent to Ephesians. The cloak that I left, Troas and Carpus, when thou come, bring with thee, and the books, but especially the parchments. Now, why would you think he would tell them to bring the books and the parchments with him? Why y'all think he would tell them to do that? Why do you think he tell them to do that? Parchment is just a scroll.
So they go through the word.
So they could seek ye out the book of Yahuwah and read. You know what I'm talking about? You see, you obviously see he made an explicit instruction, right? Bring them books with you. He say, especially the parchments. Bring the book of Yahuwah with you. Make sure you bring that to me because I need that. Because I got to show these people ain't none of this stuff going to fail. Come on around here to John chapter 20. Did y'all catch that? You see, this man asked him to bring it. Why else would he bring the book? Ask these people to bring the book unless he know what? Seek the book of Yahuwah out and read. I need that. Which again is going to be able for him to do something else because I ain't finished with that set in order yet. I ain't finished with that there yet. 20 and 30 of John. He said, and many other signs truly did Yahushua do in the presence of his disciples, which are not written in his book. But these are written that you might believe that Yahushua is Mashiach, the son of Elohim, and that believing ye might have life through his name. You know what I'm saying? Because none of these things are, how many times do we read in the word that the scripture might be fulfilled? That the scripture might be fulfilled. See, let's look at Luke 24 real fast. That the scripture might be fulfilled. 44. Luke 24 and 44. Ain't nothing gonna fail. Everyone gonna have his mate. Ain't nothing in these scriptures gonna fail. He said unto them, these are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled which were written in the law of Moses and in the prophets and in the Psalms concerning me. Then opened he their understanding that they might understand the scripture, because his cheeks were comely with jewels. He was dropping wisdom on these men. He was dropping jewels on them. He was dropping ore on them. He said out, remember he said he spoke to the people in parables, and then he turned around and told the disciples, I won't speak to you in parables anymore. I'll tell you these things plainly. Just like we read in Proverbs chapter 8. So when you turn around and look at it, when you turn around, he came out and he set the mystery in order. That was kept secret since the world began, but it now has been made manifest by the scriptures of the prophet. You already know that from Hebrews 1:1. In diverse times and in sundry manners in diverse times, the Father spoke unto us by the prophets, but in these last days, he's spoken unto us by his Son, comely words. Well, his cheeks comely with jewels, comely with order, comely with words, comely with wisdom. Because the words of Yahuwah is beautiful. Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't y'all agree? The words of Yahuwah are beautiful. This is what's going to allow us to save our soul. Remember, he said these laws are your understanding in the sight of the nations and are your wisdom. So it would be beauty. So we see it's just pure ignorance that a man would sit back and think gold teeth is what that's talking about. See, I'm going to tell y'all something, right? I want y'all to understand this and know this. That's why I mentioned that Darius and when Stanley said it. There's nothing wrong with being ignorant because that just means you don't know. The problem with ignorance is when you stay in a state of not knowing. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's ignorant to something, and all of us have been ignorant to something. The problem is when you stupid, when you willfully reject information to cling to whatever it was that you believed the first time. Now that's just stupid. That you got a problem with. Ain't no problem with not knowing. You know what I'm saying? Now the problem coming at it is these men keep us in a state of ignorance with the lies they be telling or the false information that they propagate. I'm going to say a lot of men don't know what they saying is wrong. A lot of them do though. Come on back to Isaiah chapter 40. A lot of them know they lying. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. You know, I didn't come out the Christian church, so I don't know nothing about it. But I know about a lot of Hebrew Israelites. And that's who I hold accountable, because you know what I'm saying? I don't know who them dudes is. I found out about more Hebrew preachers through my homeboy when I got out of prison than I knew about Christian preachers. You know what I'm saying? When you look at all the groups, man, you look at ISUPK, they tell you if it don't come from Commanding General Yohana, it's not of the Lord. This is what they teach. This is their slogan. You know what I'm saying? You got GOCC. They took the dude, I think his name, Elder Gabar. They say they put him out there after 2-3 months and sent him out there to be their hit man. Because nobody sees the head man. And they around here telling you about all types of aliens and all type of crazy stuff and vortexes and aliens jumping through portals. You know what I mean? Angels jumping through portals. You know what I'm saying? All type of stuff. You got GMS tell you can have sex with a 12-year-old girl. You know what I'm saying? These niggas cuss each other out like dogs in the street. I had a dude who the head of Exodus 17:15 Sakar told me it was utterly ridiculous for me to say the whole book was about Mashiach. This whole gang up. You got IUIC, you don't even want to deal with that. Troy, you probably still ain't heard back from Lil Buddy. Lil Buddy don't want to holler to no way. He didn't want to walk around here with his purple and gold t-shirt with his fringes at the bottom. But he don't want to holler at it though. Come on back to Isaiah 40 and 27. He said, why say thou, O Jacob, and speak, O Yasharal? My way is hid from Yahuwah, and my judgment is passed over from my Elohim. Don't y'all sit back and realize that? We done already read that. Eli, lama sabatna, my Elohim, why have you forsaken me? Just like we already read that ain't nothing gonna fail because we got a more sure word of prophecy that you do well that ye take heed. We know ain't none of this stuff gonna fail. Every word is gonna be completed. Look at the next thing he said. Hast thou not heard? Hast thou not known? Hast thou not heard that the everlasting Elohim, Yahuwah, the creator of the ends of the earth, faint not, neither is weary. There is no searching of his understanding. He give power to the faint, and to them that have no might he increase strength. Even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon Yahuwah shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Get your 2 Corinthians chapter 4. Didn't he just say those that wait upon y'all, they'll renew their strength. They'll mount with wings. He give power to the faint. To them that have no might, he increase strength. And get your Philippians 4 and about verse 12. Because we know trust ye in Yah forever. Trust in Yahuwah is everlasting strength. That's where your strength come from. That's where your strength ought to come from. It's your trust, your faith, your confidence, your hope in Yahuwah. 4 and 10. Make it 8. 2 Corinthians 4 and 8. Y'all got to remember that. Think about that type of stuff. Look what Paul said. Didn't he say those that wait on y'all, they renew their strength? Meaning it's made new. It's every day you get re-strengthened. Over and over again. Look what he tell you. We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed. We faint, we weary. Look what he tell them though. Always bearing about in the body the dying of the Master Yahusha, that the life also of Yahusha might be made manifest in our body, for we which live are always delivered unto death for Yahusha's sake, that the life also of Yahusha might be made manifest in our mortal flesh. So then death work in us, but life in you. Drop on down to verse 14. We skipped 13. I should have started a little high, a little lower, but it's all right. Knowing that he which raised up the Master Yahusha shall raise up us also by Yahusha, and shall present us with you. For all things are for your sakes, that the abundant grace might through the thanksgiving of many redound to the esteem of Elohim, for which cause we faint not. But though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. Now where you think Paul would get this from to make this statement, right? Because if you about to faint, that means you got to be afflicted, right? And he said that he would renew your strength day by day. Listen what he tell you. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, work for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of esteem. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. That's why he said those that wait on Yah. Because you waiting on Yah because you trust in the things that you can't see versus the things that you can see. So when Isaiah make this statement about your strength being renewed, you see where Paul get this from. But yet these dudes say Paul is a false apostle. They say Shaul is a lie. But did he not just tell you what Yeshayahu, what Isaiah just said? Did he not just do that? So y'all need to sit back and look at that the affliction, the suffering, whether it's persecution, whatever the case may be, this man can renew your strength, which is your faith in a Mashiach, which can allow you to keep going, because you'll realize your hope is not in the things that you can see, but the things that you can't see. Philippians 4 and 12. I'm finna get ready to wrap it up. Y'all understand this stuff so far? I hope so. Ain't nobody said nothing. I hope so. I know how both to be abased. Philippians 4 and 12. I know how both to be abased, and I know how to abound. And everywhere and in all things I'm instructed to be both full and hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. I can do all things through Hamashiach, which strengthen me. Notwithstanding, you have well done that you did communicate with my affliction. And you turn around and you look at it. He said those that be weary and those that be ready to faint, he wouldn't cause them to faint. And then you turn around and see that he made this accusation that you stripped the clothes from the naked. Well, you know, they stripped clothes from a Mashiach and made him naked. And we were naked. And what did he turn around and do? Because we were naked, he gave us clothing. He gave us the Ruach HaKodesh. Come on back to Job chapter 22, though. We got to finish that out. We're going to wrap this up, man. I should have known I wasn't going to hit all this stuff I had in my mind to go. I should have known better than that. So when we read verse 6, right, yet again, because you already know from verse 5, he asked the question, is not thy wickedness great and thy iniquity is infinite? Well, you know, the scribes and Pharisees said that his wickedness was great and his sins had no end, because he was saying he was the son of Elohim. When we look at verse 6, he said, have you taken a pledge from thy brother for nothing, and stripped the naked of their clothing? Thou hast not given water to the weary to drink, thou hast withholding bread from the hungry. Well, we already know. What did the Mashiach say in the 7th chapter of Yuchanan of John in the 37th verse? What did he say, gentlemen? He said, you ain't give water to them that were faint. You ain't give nothing to drink to them that were weary, those that were faint. What did the Mashiach say in that 7th chapter of the 37th verse? Y'all know what he said? Any of you brothers know what he said? He said, all ye that are thirsty, do what? Come unto me and drink. And that's what he told them. So he turned around and did what? Those that were weary, he gave them something to drink. Revelation chapter 22 and about verse 17. They made the accusation he ain't give nobody nothing to drink. So guess what he turned around and did? Gave him something to drink. What he told that woman in the 4th chapter of Yukonon. He say, man, you come to this water and you'll thirst again. He say, he that drink of the water which I receive will never thirst. Believe thou this? Ain't that what he told her? So I gave water to those that were thirsty. So Eliphaz, you lied on me. You know what I'm talking about? He said, the Ruach and the bride say, come. Let him that hear say, come. Let him that is athirst, come. Whosoever will, let him take of the water of life freely. Whosoever will. That's why he say, buy the truth and sell it not. Which one of y'all gonna come and drink of the water of life freely? The man offering it to you. Come on back to Job 22. You know how he gave bread to the hungry. He said, he that eat my flesh, say my flesh is meat indeed. He said, I'm the man that come down from Shamahim. Because the people in the wilderness was hungry, so he gave them bread to eat. He came to the people in the wilderness again, they were hungry, so he gave you his flesh to eat. But yet Eliphaz saying, why you ain't fed them? You ain't gave no bread to the hungry. That's why he say, those that hunger, they shall be fed. You're going to be fed with this man's body. Oh, man. Verse 8, though. Y'all understand that? That makes sense for you? Verse 8 says, but as for the mighty man, he had the earth, and the honorable man dwell in it. Oh, man. He said the mighty man, he had a rest, and the honorable man dwell in it. You know, he said he going to root sinners out of the land. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life to enter in through the gates of the city. The honorable man will have it. He that honoreth me, my Father will honor. And where I am, my servant will be also. Because the mighty man, the strong man, the valiant man, the warrior is going to dwell in the land. It's going to dwell in the earth and rule it. Verse 9, thou hast sent widows away empty, and the arms of the fatherless have been broken. Therefore snares are round about thee, and sudden fear trouble thee. Listen to what he say. Or darkness that thou cannot see, and abundance of waters cover thee. Is not Elohim in the height of Shamahim, and behold the height of the stars, how high they are. And thou say, how doth Elohim know? Can he judge through the dark cloud? Thick clouds are a covering to him, that he see not. He walk in the circuit of Shamahim. Hast thou marked the old way which wicked men have trodden? What does that mean to you, gentlemen, when you hear that? And I'm going to reread it now. Listen to it. I'm going to reread starting at about verse 10. Therefore snares are round about thee, and sudden fear trouble thee. Or darkness that thou cannot see, and abundance of waters cover thee. Is not Elohim in the height of Shamahim? Behold the height of the stars, how high they are. And thou say, how doth Elohim know? Can he judge through the dark cloud? Thick clouds are a covering to him, that he see not. And he walk in the circuit of Shamahim. Hast thou marked the old way which wicked men have trodden? What do y'all think that could mean? Any of you brothers want to take a shot at it? I mean, look at, I started a little earlier too, man. Ain't even that late. It's 11 o'clock. I'm almost done now. I'm talking about I'm be done before it even be close to midnight. I know y'all ain't sleep on me yet. I know y'all ain't did that. Y'all don't got no idea what it could mean. Y'all ain't gonna be able to help me out. Anybody. It don't matter. It's anybody. Anybody got an idea what this could mean? Well, let's turn around and let's look at it, what it means. And nobody got an idea. So let's set it in order. He says, snares are round about thee, and sudden fear trouble thee. Let's look at Mark. And about chapter 14 and verse 1. Let's look at Mark 14 and 1. And let's see that snares are laid round about him. Let's see if you know what a snare is, right? It's a trap, right? 14th chapter of Mark and the first verse. After 2 days was the feast of the Passover of unleavened bread, and the chief priests and the scribes saw how they might take him by craft and put him to death. But they said, not on the feast day, lest there be an uproar of the people. And what ends up happening after this here? Look at verse 10. Judas Iscariot, one of the 12, went into the chief priests to betray him unto them. And when they heard it, they were glad and promised to give him money. And he sought how he might conveniently betray him. And after the first day of unleavened bread, when they killed the Passover, his disciples said unto him, Where wilt thou that we go prepare, that thou may eat the Passover? So what has Judas done? Has he not slayed a snare? And not only that, he took a pledge from thy brother for nothing. Because remember, he took a pledge from these scribes and Pharisees to kill this man, which was 30 pieces of silver, right? You took a pledge for your brother for naught. So you see a snare all round about him. And you know, after that sudden fear, you know, Mashiach knew what was going to happen to him. We already talked about it. What did he do? He prayed, right? Because he was exceedingly sorrowful, even unto death, because sudden fear came about him, because he knew his time was come. Come on back to Job 22. That makes sense to you right there, that verse right there? So now let's look at about verse 11. He say, or darkness that thou cannot see, and the abundance of waters cover thee. What time of day was it when they came and got Mashiach? What time of day was it? Was it evening time or was it daytime? So under darkness they came for him, didn't they? They came with torches because you couldn't see in the dark. They didn't have street lights like we got. The only thing they had to be able to see is what? They would have had to use the stars on high to be able to see, right? So what you think this means when he say the floods covered him? He say out of the darkness you cannot see, and the floods of water cover you. Or seas of water cover you. Y'all got any idea? Well, you know what one of the words mean when they say sea of water? The word in Hebrew is ma'im. When we look at waters in this instance, and it means, one of the meanings is water of the feet or urine. So obviously we know it's not urine. But the other one is of danger, violence, and transitory things, refreshment. So don't you realize when it sit back and say, which I already knew this here without even looking at the abundance of waters, without even looking in that, because I know that the people are described as water in Jeremiah 51 and in Revelation 17. They're described as seas. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all familiar with that? So when I look at, so me not even looking in the Hebrew, I just read that for y'all because I already understood and know what this means when they say the waters cover you. This is talking about that great multitude who was coming for violence. They covered him, did they not? That's what they did, right? So let's look at, keep on going now. So let's look at verse 13. I'm sorry, verse 12. It says, it's not Elohim in the height of Shamahim. Behold the height of the stars, how high they are. Again, Hamashiach is where? In the height of Shamahim, up there on that tree, right? Let's look at the next thing, what it say. He say, and thou say, how doth Elohim know? Can he judge through the dark cloud? Thick clouds are covering him that he see not, and he walked in the circuit of Shamahim. What happened when Hamashiach was up there on that tree? We already read it. What happened? Didn't a thick cloud, didn't he cause darkness to come down? Get Ezekiel chapter 32. Hold this Job, man. Get Ezekiel 32. Let me make sure that's what I want. Ezekiel 32 and 7. That's what I want. Ezekiel 32 and 7. And it says, and I shall put thee out, and I will cover the Shamahim, and make the stars thereof dark. I will cover the sun with a cloud, and the moon shall not give her light. Did he not cover the son of righteousness like Malachi told you? Didn't he cover him with a cloud? Didn't we already read in Matthew how he put that cloud out there? You wonder why it went dark at that particular time between the 6th hour and the 9th hour? It's written. It's written in numerous places. It ain't just written in Amos. It's written all over the place. It's written all over the place. So now we turn around and we look at it. This man is sitting back talking about, and then when you sit back and look at height of Shamahim, what do you think this means when he say, look at the height of the stars, look at the heights of Shamahim? What do you think that means when it say height? Y'all got any idea? Get your John chapter 12, verse 33. Again, this going right back to what we've been talking about, that there's not a name upon the Shamahim which a man can call on to be saved. Meaning that this man was exalted. He was lifted up. 12 and 32. And if I be lifted up from a rats, and I, if I be lifted up from a rats, will draw all men unto me. This said he, signifying with death he should die. Because he had to be exalted. He had to be in the heights of Shamahim, right? He got to fulfill the book. Ain't nothing gonna fail, because my cheeks are comely with jewels. The people answered him, we have heard out of the law that a Mashiach abide forever. How say thou, the Son of Man must be lifted up? Who is this Son of Man? Then Yahushua said unto them, yet a little while is the light with you. While you have the light, walk while you have the light, lest darkness come upon you. For he that walk in darkness know not whither he go. While you have the light, believe in the light, that you may be children of light. These things spake Yahushua and departed, and he hid himself from them. Didn't he just say something about this darkness in Job? Let's go back to Job. Didn't he just say something about this darkness that these people act like they couldn't see? Didn't he say something in Isaiah, which we read? He said, are your ways hid from me? You know what I'm talking about? You think I didn't see this? Y'all sit back and y'all think the stuff y'all be doing, y'all think that stuff hid from that man, you think he don't see it. Y'all know the word part is, y'all be more worried about what I might think, or what one of the brothers might think, or one of the sisters might think, and you ain't worried about what y'all think. Because guess what? He know everything that come into your mind. He know every wicked thought. He know every desire. He know every lust. He know everything that come in your head. Now you stew on that and think on that. So when we read verse 13 again. He say, thick clouds are a covering to him that he see not, and he walk in the circuit of Shamahim. And he also, I read verse 14, my apologies. So when I'll read 12 again. So we see that if he's in the height of Shamahim, that means he's been exalted, he's been lifted up. You also seen him be in the height of Shamahim when he went up in the cloud into Shamahim, being exalted, that he might sit at the right hand of the Father to make intercession always on our behalf. Which is again showing that love and favor. Then he say, behold the heights of the stars, how high they are. Well, who are the stars, gentlemen? That they are, but who are the stars though? We are the stars, the sons of the Most High. You weren't wrong, Lane. They were looking for the sons of the Most High. And guess what? When you go sit back and you read the word in Hebrew, it is kokav, and the definition is of Mashiach, brothers, youth, numerous progeny, personification of Elohim's omnipotence. Now this is without even looking at the definition and seeing what it means. You know what I'm talking about? We can ascertain it from the text. You know what I'm talking about? So when we say look at the stars, how high they are, get your Matthew chapter 13. See, I want to take y'all through this stuff. I'm telling y'all, man, you know, I know Will and Troy and were messing with me because they thought I actually knew Hebrew. But it was actually the mercy of y'all that I would be able to ascertain what the word meant from a Hebraic perspective from the text. You know what I'm saying? Just from the word, I'm able to understand what it means in certain instances. You know what I'm saying? I already knew from these instances, look at the heights of the stars, how high they are. This is referring to us. Because remember Philippians 2 and 15, you shall shine as lights in the world among a crooked and perverse generation. Where is the lights at? The lights are in the Shamahim. Look how high they are. You know what I'm saying? 13 and 41, gentlemen. 13 and 41. The Son of Man shall send forth his, Matthew 13 and 41. Matthew 13 and 41. The Son of Man shall send forth his Malachim, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend and them which do iniquity. And they shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who have ears to hear, let him hear. Because he said, as many who turn, Daniel said, that as many who turn people to righteousness will shine as the stars in the Shamahim forever and ever. Your objective, remember the stars were made on what? The third day, right? In the midst of the week. That's when we were made the sons of Elohim, in the midst of the week, in the midst of the feast. You understand what I'm telling you? So when we talk about, you look at Elohim and the height of Shamahim, Elohim was when a Mashiach is up there on the tree in the height of Shamahim. He said, look at the stars, look at how high they are. When you sit back and look at that, he's the sun. Because we already mentioned that when we're talking about the literal sun, he's the sun. And what do the stars do? They encompass the sun. They surround him, don't they? Which goes back to that parable that Joseph had. Y'all remember that parable Joseph had? Look at Genesis 37. Ain't nobody saying nothing. I know I said we're going to get finished in a minute. Y'all all right? Let's make it clear though. 37:7. Genesis, Bereshit 37:7. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheave arose, and also stood upright. Behold, your sheave stood round about, and made obeisance to my sheep. Make it stood upright, stood blameless. Joseph stood blameless in the middle of them. Joseph stood blameless in the middle of them, didn't he? Just like a Mashiach stood blameless, because remember he said, I got to seek out acceptable words, even words that are upright, even words of truth, even words that were blameless. For Joseph to stand up blameless before them, just like a Mashiach did, blameless. And his brethren said to him, shalt thou indeed reign over us, or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his word, just like they hated Job. Just like the man turned around and said, if they hate you, they hated you for my name's sake. They hated me without a cause. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I'm sitting there telling y'all when I was telling you earlier. Somebody got their testicle crossed on me. You got hate in your heart for me for no reason. I ain't did nothing to you. You know what I'm talking about? You might not like how I crack jokes. You might not like how I talk. You know what I'm talking about? But I ain't did nothing to you though. He said he dreamed. Yeah. Go ahead. We finna read it right now. We finna read it right now, Stanley. I was just finna read it. He said he dreamed yet another dream, and he told his brethren and said, behold, I've dreamed a dream more, and behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. And he told it to his father and to his brethren, and his brothers rebuked him and said unto him, what is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to thee to the earth? And his brethren envied him, but his father observed the same. Now we already know the scribes and Pharisees envied a Mashiach for all the miracles he worked, didn't they? They wish they could do it. So some of y'all, we didn't put it on tape, but we dealt with this before. Any of y'all remember what they mean when he said the sun and the moon and the stars made obeisance to me? The sun and the moon and 11 stars made obeisance to me. Well, in this instant, to a certain extent, because when we talk about, what he actually talking about making obeisance is his brothers bowing down to him, right? When we go back and you look in Bereshit 42, 45, he come across his brothers bow down and make obeisance to him, just like he said. You know what I'm saying? When you look at the sun and the moon is actually symbolic of man and woman. You know what I'm talking about? The 11, which would be Jacob and Rachel. You know what I'm saying? This is why you hear him, even though Rachel done passed already. You know what I'm talking about? This is why you hear Jacob saying, well, not passed already. I think she hadn't had Benjamin yet. But that's why you see Jacob sitting back telling him, is me and your mama going to bow down to you? He said, me and your mama going to do this? Me, your mama, and your brothers? Which go back to what? What he told you in Isaiah 45, that the word has come out of my righteousness, and I swear in truth that every knee will bow. That's what he said in Isaiah 45, didn't it? And what's the prophecy in Genesis 41 with Joseph? That every knee would bow to him, right? And then you already know what Paul told you about a Mashiach, because Paul was just telling you what Genesis 41 and Isaiah 45 said. You know, we dealt with this in the past. Remember, some of y'all remember that day when we were talking about when we had to deal with these non-Messianic dudes, these sinners, these transgressors, these unbelievers who were talking trash about the Mashiach. Oh, you gonna bow your knee to him. Oh, you gonna do it. And how do we see Hamashiach fulfilling the 11 stars, making obeisance to him? Because wasn't Judas dead? Didn't Judas kill himself? Didn't Judas kill himself? So how many apostles was left? It was 11. And when they came and met him in Mark, and we met him in Matthew, come over here and look at Matthew chapter 28. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I want you to look, Stanley. Come on, look at Matthew 28. You know, we dealt with this a while back. But you know, Stanley wasn't with us at that time. So he didn't get a chance to hear it. I don't think we put it on tape. If we did put it on tape, I don't remember. Matthew 28 and 8. Matter of fact, Matthew 28 and 5. It says, and the Malachim answered and said unto the woman, fear not ye. I know that you seek Yahushua, which was crucified. He is not here, for he is risen. As he said, come see the place where Hamashiach lay. And go quickly and tell his disciples that he is risen from the dead. And behold, he go before you into Galilee. There shall ye see him. Lo, I have told you. And they departed quickly from the sepulchre with fear and great joy, and did run to bring his disciples word. And as they went to tell his disciples, behold, Yahushua met them, saying, all hail. And they came and held him by the feet and worshipped him. Woo! And how many disciples was there at that time? 11. And what they turned around and did, made obeisances to him. And then you got niggas tell you, we ain't supposed to worship a Mashiach, but yeah, you read it right there. That's when we dealt with this. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't think we put it on tape. I know Troy was there, or I might have told it to him over the phone. That's why we dealt with it, because people say you ain't supposed to worship him. But yet, you see them doing that right here. And where can we get it from? Out the law, because they did it with Joseph. Because all his 11 brothers bowed down and worshiped him, because he was over the whole house. By his mouth was the whole house be ruled, and every knee had to bow down to him. So these old stupid, idiotic fools, they're going to bow down. If they don't want to bow to the man now, they can bow to him later. I'm going to read y'all Isaiah 45 just to know. I think that's the actual name of the video too. It's on the Assembly channel. Every knee going to bow. Because we went over this a few months back. But it's always good to touch back up on it. They ain't never hurt, do it? It don't never hurt. It don't never hurt. 45 and 22. That's why they sit back and look at it. You see Elohim and the Hadat Shamahim say, you better go ahead and look up then. Niggas is idiots. Make it 21. He say, tell ye, Isaiah 45 and 21. Tell ye and bring them near. Let them take counsel together. Who has declared this from the ancient time? Who have told it from that time? Have I not I, Yahuwah? There is no Elohim beside me. A just Elohim and a Savior. There is none beside me. You know, Mashiach was just and he was a Savior, and there wasn't nobody with him. Look unto me and be ye saved, all the ends of the earth, for I am Elohim and there is none else. I have sworn by myself, the word is gone out of my mouth in righteousness, and shall not return, that unto me every knee shall bow and every tongue shall swear. Oh, they gonna do it. Come on back to Job 22, wrap this up, man. We've been on hit 3 hours without even realizing it. You hear that there? So guess what? You can bow the knee of your heart unto a Mashiach right now. You know what I'm talking about? Or you going to bow your knee when this man get back here, he going to cut your head off after he do it. You know what I'm talking about? See, that's why it's better for you to bow down your knee to him now. Because to bow down to him is to humble yourself, right? It's to show honor, reverence, and respect. You can do that now. You can do it now. And be spared and be a partaker of the peaceable fruits of righteousness. You can become a son of the Most High. So we're going to finish. We're going to stop at about verse 15. I'll work the rest in, y'all will, on Shabbat. To the brother Mike Wash, y'all will. I'll work them fringes in for you Shabbat on tomorrow. I ain't get it today, but y'all will. I got you. Y'all will one way or another. Because we done talked about it before, but I don't know the name of the video. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to hit it, man, because, you know, we don't wear fringes. You know, I explained to some of the brothers on here why, but, you know, I ain't really preached on it in a while. But we can do that, though, because it kind of will tie into some of the stuff we've been looking at this week anyway. You know, I neglected to mention this to y'all. That's my apology. That Wednesday was the new moon. That's why we didn't do Thursday. Wednesday was the new moon. You know what I'm saying? So we are in the 8th month of the year. and we would be in the I think the third day of the month. You know what I'm saying? So we are in the 8th month of the year. So when we look at verse 15, what you think this means? Has thou marked the old way which wicked men have trodden? What y'all think that can mean? What y'all think that can mean? Mark the old way. Seek ye the ancient path. And did we already read from Colossians chapter 1 that a Mashiach is before all things? So he that ancient path. And what was that wicked man who trod it down, which would mean to bring it underfoot? That was the scribes and Pharisees. They trod in the old way, the ancient path underfoot. That's why he said. That's why you think the man came and told you, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No man can enter into the kingdom of Shamahim but by me. You can't get to the Father but by him. Philippians 3 and about verse 14, and we'll stop right at that particular mark. You get ready to hit that little mark. Philippians 3 and 14. And it says, make it 13. Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before. I press towards the mark for the high prize, for the prize of the high calling of Elohim and Yahushua HaMashiach. That's why he say, which one of y'all that marked the old way? If you mark the old way, that means you took note of it. If you take note of a Mashiach, press on to it so you can receive that prize and that high calling to the deliverance of your soul. Hallelujah for Yahushua and the word. Y'all understood all this stuff this evening?